Good morning, Ria. Thank you for joining in. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to go grab some water, use the restroom really quick, and we're going to get on with the stream. Thank you for being here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Sorry for the yeah, I apologize for the wait. How's everyone doing today? Hello, Ria. Welcome to the channel. How are you doing this fine morning? We are going to be doing a to-do list. Houdini, Procedural, PG, PDG, Procedural Data Graph. Um, connect small islands, create tile sets. Oh, I feel like my whole body is in pain. It was a much needed workout today, guys. I was finally able to go to the gym. Let me turn this. I feel like I'm a little too loud. Whenever I turn my PC on, it just starts off at loud. Ria says, morning, going well so far. That's good to hear. Have you been hammering away at any 3D model projects on Blender, Miss Ria? So we connect small islands. We create variation in tile sets. In the whatever variation in floors. Right now, for the moment, we're just gonna add that. And honestly, I should probably floors save that. I was like working out today and I was like, man, we haven't been really using the Trello, and I think we should. Connect small islands, create variation in tile sets. We want to output a high level mesh and low level collider mesh. What's some other things that could be useful for this? I don't think we need to get props in quite yet. Not yet. Planning on making a character next, though. I don't have much experience with it, so it should be fun. It will be fun. Just, my biggest advice, if you're looking for some, is just find out how you like to do it. I didn't really like get into character creation until I started sculpting. I tried like hard modeling it, and my brain couldn't comprehend it. When I started sculpting it, that's when things started to click a little bit better for me. So figure out what you prefer to do. If you don't have a tablet like this one here, I recommend getting one. But seeing how you're a digital artist, I'm assuming you probably already have something like this. But yeah, it's another way to utilize that tool if you already have it. So, what type of character are you going to make? Simon Hole, subscribe to your channel. Hey, Simon Hole, thank you so much for the subscription. I'm sorry we didn't see it for some strange reason. I guess it shouldn't be private. Unless I wasn't here when it happened. No, it just happened. What's going on with my things, man? Artem, how's it going, my friend? Welcome in, welcome in. But yeah, man, I had a ton of built up like energy in me. I feel like I've been a little too giddy on these streams, and it's because I have been going to the gym. So I went to the gym, hit the boxing bag a little bit, worked out my shoulders. Real nice. Just a quick reminder for all of you out there who are like me, love game design, make sure to go out and find a physical activity that you love too, because I think it all comes together for a very balanced life experience, It really does help the psyche, and in turn, the positive psyche, helps your creativity. Unless you're someone who can use, good and bad to kind of, hey, thank you so much for the subscription, Simon Hole. That's why the alerts were like way off. Thank you so much for the subscription. That's twice now. So maybe I should do it 3 times because, as you know, the Holy Father loves 3s. So thank you, Simon Hole, again for the subscription, my friend. I hope you're enjoying your experience. If you haven't already, please go ahead and scour the YouTube, go watch the videos, comment on them, let me know what you think about the project so far, any suggestions you have. Yeah, thank you. Artem says, my artists are having it with their branch hateful. What? Oh, there's a problem with Git. There's always a problem with Git. I have Git desktop. I have yet to set up my project on it, which is, I have the old project here, but we're going to have to upload that. We're going to have to upload the current project into GitHub. Because I hopefully will be talking to a Christian comic book artist soon to maybe start creating some concept art for the game, as well for the characters. Ria says, yeah, I see a couple of common ways to start the modeling process for characters. We'll experiment to see what works for me. Yeah, that's the best method to do. And if you're on Blender, there is, like in your sculpting it, and even if you're like hard modeling, there is some add-ons I like to recommend. They are expensive. Well, not really quad remesher. If you buy quad remesher in bulk, it's expensive, right? You can buy it, right? Which you have to. You can buy it for, I think, yeah. Here's all the softwares. They have it for Houdini. I might have to get that. That's pretty cool. But yeah, if you get the perpetual license, it is $109. The perpetual indie non-commercial, which I don't recommend to get because that means you can't sell whatever you create with it. $60, right? And the subscription, which lasts for 3 months, is $16. So this is what I have right now. I have a subscription for Blender. Although I think the perpetual license is just per software. So I'll try and keep the character simple to get used to the process. Yeah, that's the best way to do it. I just immediately went off, started trying to do like chibi stuff, and it was a little difficult. Another add-on, Ria, or anyone who out there who's watching that does sculpting, you know, quad remesher. And then the other one that I would like to recommend for all of you, and I have a buddy who just got this too, and he really enjoys it. His name is Solomon Gumball. If you haven't hung out with him, he's a great guy. Not the most Christian chat I've ever seen, but you know, it's good to support good people. So, yeah, go check him out. He's making a like skiing game, like a very fun skiing game. So retopology is a big part of sculpting. And with that being said, a good Blender, and it's very expensive, add-on, is RetopFlow. Is single-handedly, it's $85 for the personal commercial use, right? And it just goes up the higher you go. So, but you do get seats, several seats for these prices, right? 2 people, it's 2 to 5, you know, 16 to 14, so on and so forth. But it's an awesome tool. It works great. It does what it shows it does, and there's not much hassle. I do know that Mac users have their Blender crashes a lot, so keep that in mind if you're using a Mac. But it still works. So yeah, this is a great tool. It really helps with the retopo. And if you haven't done retopo the legacy way in Blender, obviously do that first. So yeah, but let's kind of jump back into kind of organizing this project, because kind of like I said, I haven't been using Trello, and I probably should. I should use Miro as well to kind of gather a ton of images for reference, but right now I'm just doing all the basic stuff, like setting up the logic in Houdini, and then from there we can probably add a little bit more to this. Thanks for the suggestions. I'll look at them. Yeah, that's no problem. And you know, quad remesher, it gets a variety of results. It still works really well, but you know, I prefer, what I typically do is I'll retopologize something, and then I'll use quad remesher on it if I feel like I didn't do the retopology well enough, and I don't want to do the retopology again, right? But yeah, so I think the one thing that we have going on right now, and let's open the project. I worked on it a little bit last night, or a lot of it, I should say. I just didn't get very far. I didn't get very far, sadly. It just feels nice to start at 10 again, to get in the gym, and do all the cool things. I'm extremely excited for my kid to be back in school. I know it sounds bad, but when you just don't have any time to yourself if they don't, you know? Not until they get older. So, Artem, what's the issue that you guys are currently having with the branch? Have you tried creating another branch from the main branch? Because I don't know if you know, right? But in here, you'll see that I have a main branch. This is for my last project, right? This is the main branch that you have. You don't mess with this in case anything goes bad with this, right? With these other branches. You work on this, and then you merge these branches into the main branch. And there's a lot of other useful tips in here. But if you didn't know, is you can go back in time, right? You can go back in time to these specific, what should I say, builds or updates in your branch. I forget what they're called. I haven't used this in forever, which is kind of bad, but you get the point. You can go back in time, right? Where is it at in here? Compare to branch. There's somewhere in here where you can go back in time and work from that part in the branch. It's probably because I have to update it. Wow, that was a quick update. Where is it? I know it's in history. It's got to be in history. But you can also go in here to see like what changes you've made and what's you have now in the current system. And that'll kind of help you navigate those issues as well if you have them, Artem. So keep that in mind. But yeah, GitHub is very hard to comprehend at first because it is a very, I want to say arbitrary, if that's the right word, software. But yeah, back to the matter at hand. We have ourselves a game or a Houdini. So in this branch, this is the main branch right now. This is what it's currently producing, borders and all. And honestly, it looks like maybe I have to, yeah. I fuse this in the PDG. So I send this through a rope geometry import, and in that import, I fuse everything together. So I'm not too concerned about that. But right now, we're kind of working on this little aspect here, connecting the small islands. Simon Hole, morning. I run a mid-sized gaming studio in Canada and just stumbled across your stuff. Also a Christian and love seeing others use the medium to glorify God. Progress looks great so far. Thank you so much, Simon Hole. And yeah, that's what I hope to do one day. Is it everything I dream it to be, my friend? And I appreciate the love and support. And it is very nice as well to see that there's also Christians out there doing the same thing. I feel like in this day and era, it's really important for us to use our skill to, enhance the kingdom of God as much as possible, right? The internet is a very non-Christian dominated area, and I feel like we should reach out on it more with not only our words, but with our creativity as well. There's a lot of kids out there that are Christian that don't have many Christians to relate to online, and I think it's important to give them that feature or give them that thing. Sorry, it's kind of an over convoluted response, but I appreciate it. Other than that, with the Houdini, we want to connect small islands. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do using the silhouette method. So currently at the moment, we are taking what we get here, right? Which is just this decoder. And essentially what this decoder is it's giving everything in here a name, which is why we end up here. It's essentially giving these all these points a particular name that when you copy to them from a file or from, you know, here, it'll kind of give you a result. And I don't know why I can't see the faces right now. Everything's so bogged down. But yeah, this one here is our personal style or tile set, because where most people use this to kind of, what's the word? Where people use this as rooms, I'm using it on its side to create like a platform level, right? So this is our own custom tile set. We don't need the bottom of the floors inside the room because these are all going to be like exposed environments where you can see like mountains in the background and cliffs and, you know, depending on where you're at in the particular area. And this is just kind of an update for everyone tuning in. But anyways, I'm kind of using the method that I saw in the video yesterday. I'm creating a grid. I'm blasting, if you look here, I'm blasting some of these things out, like name 0, which is essentially the borders or the areas that it's essentially the this area right here. I'm blasting those out so I only get, you know, the insides. And then I'm getting the walls, and then I'm trying to compare them so I can essentially not only merge the particular, wow, I wonder what happened. It's changed from yesterday. I must have done something weird. 48. Did I change a seed in here somewhere? No, I didn't. That is strange. Oh, that's why, because everything's upside down at the moment. Yeah, I'm talking about this big level here. Boom. But yeah, so these rooms here, essentially I'm trying to get rid of them. Like the little things like these little break off points, I'm just trying to get rid of them. Honestly though, for a game this size, I feel like something like this could be fine, but I want to try to connect these land masses together. And I've been really trying to find a way to do that, but I haven't been lucky. I've tried several methods, a poly bridge. Chase! Hey Chase, how's it going, friend? By the way, guys, what would you all think? You know, I'm not going to say that yet. I'll wait. Because I really like the idea of like the mechanics in the game and the idea of the game. So we'll wait. So now essentially all I got to do is name these here to 0, 0. Feed all this information back into here. Right? Feed this back into here, and then I generate an output. But it's going to involve me probably doing some more things in the hierarchy. Also, as a quick reminder, everyone, if you kind of load in and out of this live stream, because that's I do it too whenever I'm watching live streams, I'll switch in between different people. Sometimes what can happen is it won't put you to the immediate part in the stream. It'll put you backwards a little bit. So if you're feeling like I'm not responding to you, it's probably because of that. So that's just a quick reminder to, whenever you rejoin, make sure that you're at the beginning or the current portion of the stream. That way, you know, conversations don't seem out of place. But yeah, we got to find a way to name all of these, which is relatively simple. It's all 0. But I don't know if I have... I should, actually. These should all be named something. The only issue is I can't look at the name for some strange reason. I haven't been able to in a while. And I don't know what to do to fix that. You can turn on all these buttons, but I don't think it'll help much. Boom. Let's turn on the points, though. You can see these. Display. Where is this? There's that. Maybe it's because, oh, see, that's why. I'm not giving these a piece attribute, I believe. But if I do that, this is like, attribute name is a string attribute. You trying to make one of the levels? I am. But currently right now, I am trying to make the base level. And then I'm going to use this as a mock-up for kind of the idea that I want to... Essentially, it's to relay the idea for the platforming aspect of the game. Like, I've seen people do the things that I want to do for the level design before, so I know it's possible. But right now we're trying to connect these small parts and essentially do these little tidbits here. And I'm hoping that I can get something done by the weekend, so the devlog will be easy and I can be like, we accomplished a task, and everyone gets excited because they're like, yeah, one more step in the dev adventure. But yeah, now we have those names, but it's like, how are these? What do they have that allows them to do this? That's why points. Guess from group. But still, it's like target piece attribute name is a string attribute. Is it because... No, we don't give it a name here. We don't give it a name here. We don't give it a name here. And by the way, guys, thank you all for the subscriptions in the last couple of days. It really does mean a lot to me. I know I say this every time, but it's such a humbling experience, and I just want to thank all of you from the bottom of my heart. It does truly mean a lot. It makes me feel like I'm doing what God has intended me to do, and that I'm progressing, at least, or at least making something interesting. It is a moral boost. But yeah, let's go ahead and name these. Let's figure out what's going on. I think the best way to go about this is kind of copy this, or at least see the difference in these. So we have this transform using target point orientation. And this is not on. So why are we getting this warning here? If I go like this and select this, we're not... Can I ask why you're proc-genning the levels in Houdini as opposed to hand building them? Because the mechanics in my game, I want things to, one, have a mystery value to them. I want to create more replayability in my game as well. And on top of this, so in my game, I want to make it so people unlock these levels when they do like little expedition, and then they can enter them and, you know, essentially investigate them, collect materials, and then use those materials to build up their little town. And the way you transition in between these is through like an infinite run. I wouldn't say infinite running at that point, because it's not infinite, but it's infinite in the sense is that you can infinitely do it, and it'll be different every time. Hopefully, right? There probably might be some shared look in some of the tile sets, but regardless, that's kind of why I'm doing the procedural generation. Jelly! Hey, Jelly, how's it going? It's been a while. I'm glad your channel is growing and happy that you found it. It's a good community. Thank you. And speaking of community, this is a good segue. Thank you, Ria. Discord link is in the description of this video. If you want to come hang out in the Discord, share your work, or just talk, You can go ahead and join it. It's a little quiet right now, but because it's a growing community, right? So that's kind of the idea. But yeah, to kind of expand Simon Hall on the question is I really like to incorporate an adventure feel in my games, like an expedition. And I think you can really create that feeling with procedural generation because it's different every time. You don't know what you're going to get yourself into. Of course, there'll be different biomes, so you'll have an idea of what you'll find, but the world and the stuff in it will be different every time. So it's like an adventure every time you load into a map. So expedition is something that I really try to create in my game design documents. And I'm just I don't know what it is. I love procedural generation. I'm good, but very, very busy. Okay. Yeah, I know you do a lot of stuff on your end, and you always have fabulous work. Have you how's the game that you're currently working on? It's like well, I know you're doing an animation, Jelly, and I also know that last you showed us, I think it was you that showed us, you had what was it? It was like a planet scavenging games where you could scan for enemies and etc. Simon Hole, yeah, I worked on a game that was a hybrid proc gen / pre-made environment. It's a great balance. Yes, I agree. I think as an addition to that, it's just a really good tool to give to an artist because it allows them to not only create art for the tile sets and stuff like that, but then they can hand manipulate things to really polish it and I would say bring a human feel to the environment because I think that's important as well. So I don't know how I'm going to do that, seeing how I'm going to do a lot of proc gen, but we'll find out. I don't have as much experience as I've had. I've made one game on the mobile, which I'm not too proud of. I'll show you. I'm not proud of it at all. It did well. I did the art, and I also did a lot of the design, as well as some programming on it, but it was primarily led by a buddy of mine. This is a game I worked on with a studio I made with a friend. Broken Bytes city destruction game. It's literally meant to play while you're, using the restroom or you're waiting for something. You just get these towns or these cities and you use weapons on them. You gain points or coins from them or from destroying the city. And then you use those to level up your weapons and unlock new ones. It's just a time sink game. It's not too fabulous. But with that being said, I have worked on one other mobile game that I released a long, long time ago when I started game developing. It had like 10 downloads. And since then, I've worked on this and I've received an associate's in game design. So I don't have much experience, which is why you'll see me experimenting so much in these streams. Sasuke Uchiha. Hey, Paul, remember me from 135? I'm sorry. I don't remember. 135. Are you the 135 fifth subscriber? I like the idea of the procedural generation. I worked on a custom editor. Ooh. So that's why you're busy, because of the custom editor? And yeah, it's kind of a planet exploration. And that, like I said, I just love exploration games. There's some form of mystery to it, and I like it so much because I feel like the adventure aspect of our life is kind of gone. I mean, what can we do? We can explore the seas and the space, but everything on the world has pretty much been found. So it's not like I can become an adventurer and do these things. The best way you can go about recreating that experience is, through games. Simon Hull, I never had experience either. It's about passion and tenacity, not skills or experience. Those can come with time. Exactly. You're completely right. And I feel like I have the passion and tenacity. It's just, it's when it comes down to it right now, I'm spending a lot of time learning the tools. And I feel like once I learn the tools, things will speed up a little bit. But it does limit the tenacity a little bit because I just want to keep pumping out stuff 24/7. But, you know, I can only do so much. Sasuke Uchiha, Analogy's class. Hey, Analogy, 135 CS. Yeah. How's it going, man? How are you doing? Are you still pursuing a batch in computer science? I stepped away from that because I don't know, I felt a calling for this. I felt very conflicted. Although I was doing well in my classes, it was hard to concentrate because I felt like there was something else I should be doing. Um, but yeah, let me know if everything's going well. Jelly says, is it possible to do custom editor with Unreal? I know it's possible with Unity, and I've seen some things with Unreal, but I'll be real with you, Jelly. I haven't worked with custom editors in here yet, or even researched it really, so I couldn't tell you. But there's probably somewhere on Google that can. I mean, let's look it up really quick because I don't want to sound rude when I say that. Can you do custom stuff with Blender? I think I've seen or Blender. Sorry. You can use the built-in tools in UE5 to create and save custom layouts, change the interface color scheme, edit keyboard shortcuts, and add remove functionality in stored separate plugins. That doesn't answer the question. But maybe you can make a plugin that has, its own personal customer or custom editor aspects to it. Unless you're working in Unreal, then you'll never stop learning. Yeah, well, thank God a big portion of this game is in Unreal. Like everything's in Unreal. But I've been trying to teach myself a lot of like what would you call them? I'm trying to learn like Substance Designer and Houdini because they're such powerful tools. For instance, with Substance Designer, I think I've showed it on the stream before. The way you can iterate through textures is absolutely astounding. I mean, it just saves so much time when it comes to the overall workload. You create something that looks appeasing, you upload it into Unreal, and, just by changing some sliders in the editor, you automatically start getting these really cool textures with variety in them. And it, beforehand you would have to move in and out of Blender or in and out of Photoshop, and it just completely disrupts the entirety of the workflow. It just adds so much on top of it. Sasuke Uchiha says, yeah, I'm in discrete math. Ooh, you were the smartest in our class. Man, I don't think I was the smartest. I just think I had a little bit more experience. I started programming like 5 years prior to that class, on and off in like Unity. So it wasn't that I was the smartest in class. I feel like it was more because I feel like I just said because so much. I'm sorry, guys. I gotta beat that out of myself. I just think it's due to the fact that I just had prior programming experience, and it feels really cool. Like I feel really good when there's a problem and I find a way to handle that problem using code. So I get like a super dopamine drip from it. So of course, me, I'm like, you can use sets to do this and then you can manipulate it. But yeah, thank you for the comment, Sasuke. I appreciate it. Haha, designer defeated me. I tried several times, just could never solve the conceptual hurdles in my mind. I let the smart people do that. It's far beyond me as well. I'll tell you the truth. My textures could be a lot better. Like some people, they just have these really sharp, crisp textures, and I'm just like, how do you do that? How do you make it so there's literally just these clear lines, they're not blurry? Of course, you could attribute it to like the resolution size that they're probably creating these textures in, but there's no blurriness in between the objects or the shapes that they have in the texture. But I completely get that. And you know, it's a struggle, but it definitely feels good when you overcome it. Um, but I wouldn't say that that doesn't make you a smart person. I think letting other people who understand that more is in itself a smart person thing to do. Like me, I could probably just try to find someone who's trying to learn Houdini and ask them if they want to do this, who has more experience. But I'm just so stubborn that, because I like it. If I didn't like it, I wouldn't do it, right? But I'm just so stubborn that I have to figure it out. And it's not enough to just follow the tutorials online for me. I have to literally do things a different way to try to do it my way because I don't know, there's something wrong with my head, man. Simon Hole says, actually, I'm amazed that people actually know what they're doing when they're using it. The idea of using nodes to make images is wizardry to me. I just don't think that way. Yeah, I mean, I will say that like there's more of a human touch to just flat out drawn out textures, right? There's less of this robotic feel to it, but I mean, if we look online really quick and we just look at like the textures people have, I mean, they're absolutely astounding, especially the stylized one. It's one thing to make something realistic, but to create something that's stylized, I feel like it's a lot harder to do. Let's see if we can find like a good, like a really, really good texture. This one looks pretty neat, but you know. And this is something, chat, that you can take. You can't spin it around. That makes me kind of mad. But this is something you can take and, you know, change sliders in Unreal, and it completely changes the texture. And you can create like a lot of micro variations using that same texture, right? Of course, I think that I don't know if creating another. Yeah, it does, because it creates another texture set. So it can be expensive. Keep that in mind if you're going to use it, chat. It can be expensive. But yeah, check out this stylized rock wall. Look at that. That's just so pretty. It's just, you got to get these like really particular lines, very over exaggerated stuff. And it's hard for me to do that. But yes, I'm amazed at them as well, and that's why I'm trying to learn how to do it so I can be amazed with myself. Be like, I did this thing. I've done the thing. But yeah, the one thing right now that's really upsetting me is like, if you look at this, all of these have a blue line besides these, and these are the ones I'm adding on. So I figured, oh, that's because they're not connected. But I fuse them right here, connect them, and we still have that issue. So I don't know what that particularly means. And we know that there's no overlaying vertices, because here it's hard to make out the vertice count, and that's because there's vertices laying on top of each other. That's why we're fusing it. And now we don't have anything, but now we have this little bloop, and it makes me mad. So the best thing to do now is to go through all these, separate these planes, right? Turn them into points, and then put names on them, and then attribute transfer this over here to this wall of whatever you want to call it. So then we can plug this hole. And then after that, we got to figure out how to connect these two planes together, and I don't even know how I'm going to do that. I've tried everything. I can't comprehend how I can particularly in Houdini say, hey, get the closest point from here to here, and then draw draw planes between them. Right? Which now that I say that, it makes a little bit more sense. But that's not the point. That is not the point, chat. The point is it's going to be hard to do. Because the thing is like, I know that it works with this, but I don't know if it's going to work with something else. And also, we have an issue here, guys. Check this out. We're missing a tile piece. So before we get anything started, let's open up Blender and fix that really quick. Let us fix it. And also, anyone out there who's watching the stream currently, I just want you guys to know that if you have your profile set to private, you subscribe to the channel, and you want to be thanked for that, I won't be able to thank you because the alert won't pop up here. So with that being said, if your profile is private and you've subscribed and I haven't said thank you, thank you. But I can't see it. So I just like to take a moment to say that every once in a while because it is important for me. Yeah, see? We got another subscriber and I didn't see it. By the way, thank you guys. You guys are the best. I don't want to sound like I'm gloating or something, but it's a moral boost, right? I say it all the time. Have you played with PCG and UE 5.2 plus? I'm currently in 5.3 with my project, and I'm using PCG right now. No, sorry. This is PDG. You're talking about the PCG and UE5 itself. No, I haven't. I know that it's something that's in Unreal Engine 5, but my idea with this is that, one, if the game doesn't go well, I can add it to my portfolio or my resume and say, hey, I have experience in these tools, because I see myself more as like a technical artist and a designer. I love designing games. But yeah, I don't know why I do that all the time. I'm sorry, guys. No, I have not tried PCG. Is it difficult to use in UE5? UE5 PCG. I kind of felt like if I oft branched it here, it would be, because I'm making a mobile game. I felt like if I off branched it to like maybe a different software that's built more for that particular thing, because that's like Houdini's gig, procedural, essentially procedural models, dynamic modules, whatever you want to call them. Points, locations in 3D space, but it looks like it could be another valid way to try to handle it. It's just, I feel like there's more of a, when it comes to comprehending, I feel like Houdini might be a little bit easier for me to figure out. Although, who knows? This could be easy to learn too. Each node has a variety of debugging options I can use to visualize the point data. I kind of want to look up a video for this now. It's fairly intuitive, a bit more performant if you're wanting to generate levels at runtime versus Houdini engine, I believe. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about when I decided to do that. PCG UE5. Let's check it out a little bit. Let's see what you can do. They have a 25-minute talk. I don't know if I'll watch all of that, but let's watch a little quick tutorial. This guy is Michael Royalty. If you want to check him out, let's go ahead and stop the music and give this a gander. Jessica Jordan, hiya, how are you? I'm doing great. How are you doing? Thank you for joining the channel. I appreciate your presence. How's your day? Simon Hull, plus you get to experience all the Unreal jank because it's a new feature that's only been professionally used in Fortnite. Really? I've heard of some people use it, so it's still really in a primitive state, even though it's released. It's going good. What about you? It's going excellent. It has been an excellent day so far. My kid's finally back in school, so I was able to go to the gym, work out a bit, punch the bag. I like to box, for those of you who don't know. And now I get to work on a game, so it's going great so far, and I'm talking to all you lovely people. So, yeah, thank you for asking. Jessica, what do you do? Do you like game design? Do you like, are you an artist, programmer,
And this.
anything of that nature? What is all this?
This little
Ooh, car shababs.
graveyard art project. And these little car flowers.
Where am I from? I am from the beautiful state. The beautiful state, and I say that in air quotes, California. What about you? I'm from the beautiful state of California. Wow, he really likes using cars. Are all those cars? No, there's no way.
All 6 of these things use the same...
And by the way, guys, if there's anyone new who's just subscribed to the channel, please make sure to go through the channel and watch all the videos. We have some devlogs. We do weekly devlogs. We do shorts. I apologize if some of this stuff isn't like the best, but I typically make them in a day, and I'm still learning the video editing aspect of it. Oh, you're from UK. Okay. Yeah, I have a lot of people from the UK here. It's quite interesting. How late is it there right now, guys? If you don't mind me asking. I think we got Jelly, who's from UK. He's in here right now, hanging out. I think it's like 10 a.m. or something. Oh, you're a musician and a visual artist. That's cool.
Thing does is it rotates by -3 and
Like, what type of visual art, though?
It accepts
1854.
a little tinier.
Oh, yeah, Chase is from UK as well.
These things are getting a little bigger the farther out they go. And then there's a minimum and maximum height.
So it's currently 6:54 p.m.
to tell it how many times to copy it upwards. So without further ado, let me show you how to create this thing.
So it looks like he just creates a curve, and inside of that curve, he does some type of scattering, which would mean he's using probably a plane to create some points within it. And then from there, he's generating some models. You know, I'll tell you what's really interesting. I forget what it's called, but Townscaper uses it. What is this called? I know it's Townscaper. What method does Townscaper use for its building? Sorry, I can't type. I make different styles of art, and I also work for Twitch streamers. That's cool. What do you do besides streaming? So, well, I like to say I'm a full-time game developer, but besides streaming, I, play games because, telling a developer to not play games is like telling a chef not to eat, I'm just saying. But besides that, I do logos for people. Currently, I'm doing 2 things. I'm making a logo for a go-kart training team. And other than that, that's pretty much all I do for money at the moment. I have most of my modeling and art I do for my game. So I don't really do much on the side besides the logos. 2-dimensional irregular based. What is this particularly called? I know that there is a particular phrase or word that is coined for the method of what he's doing here. And holy moly, this is a big read. I like how he actually includes. What is it? 2-dimensional irregular-based grid. Okay, wave. Oh, so it uses wave function collapse. Okay. Yeah, I know that people use this. Well, 1 for levels, and 2, I'm guessing he's using it for buildings. I wanted to make a game with cars where it does that. Wow, talented lad. Just a little bit. It's a lot of hard work too, and a lot of banging my head against the wall. That's why I'm slowly. That's why it's hard for me to communicate so much, because I've just kind of dumbed myself down. Are you on Discord? I am on Discord. And by the way, if you want to join our Discord for this community, guys, you can go ahead and click the link in the description of this live stream. And you can go ahead and share your stuff here. And that, by the way, this is a guy that does a go-kart. Make sure to welcome everybody that's joining into the Discord. Hello, Simon Hall. And before you share anything, guys, make sure to select a role. And if you have any complaints or suggestions for the Discord or the game, please let them know. In general, I'll probably put a suggestion box somewhere in here. Everything is currently a work in progress. This kind of spun on me out of nowhere. Like in December, I was just making videos and doing my thing, and then I started getting a lot of subscribers. So, bear with me. I am trying to figure this stuff out slowly. So if something isn't perfect, that's probably why. But yeah, go ahead and join. Make sure to select a role and get your roles. You want to make sure you select developer, artist, musician. And then in the work and tell section, you can go ahead and share all your beautiful stuff. Corey looks like he made... Oh, that's sick. This looks really good. This guy is very talented. This is nice. I mean, it looks... And that's what he's kind of done, right? Yeah, also in there is Ria. She's a fabulous 3D artist. I mean, look at all the stuff she's done. I really love this garden, and I must say my favorite piece of all, the piece de la résistance, ladies and gentlemen, this sushi couch, okay? This sushi couch. I mean, look at this thing. I can't see your Discord link below. Really? Here, let me go ahead and I will create a custom link for you guys. Here, I'll make it unlimited in case anyone's watching this stream in the future and you're here right now at this point in the video. You can go ahead and join this link and join the Discord community. We're currently growing. There isn't a rule section. Well, there is. I'm going to edit this, but just be a decent human being. Be nice to each other. We are a Christian dominant server in a sense that a lot of people here. Everyone say hi to Jessica. Is primarily Christian. So be respectful. If you have a different belief system, that's perfectly fine. Just don't come in and make a bunch of assumptions about us. Let's try to keep it civil in here and have a good time, because at the end of the day, we are making games. And what, ladies and gentlemen, what is funner than that? Nothing. Hold up. Game development. And by the way, guys, we do stream here every day, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. PST to about 2 p.m. PST. That's California, or I should say Pacific Standard Time. So if you're interested in hanging out, please click that sub button. And if you haven't already, click the like button. Why, you ask? Because I like it. It makes me feel good. Do all the things that make me feel great. I'm joking, by the way. You don't have to like the video. You can dislike it if you want. YouTube doesn't show me anyways, so... Well, actually, it does. It does show me, so never mind. But yeah, let's... I feel like we were watching this video. Let's see how he goes about tackling this, just so we can kind of get an idea of how PCG works in Unreal. So he's made a PCG graph, and he's making a blueprint element. So this is something I'm assuming he places in the world, and it just draws from that PCG graph he's just created. He's probably got to create a component that can receive it.
Configuration values. First one is going to be offset. That'll be a vector.
Oh, man. I will say, though, going to the gym does tire me out a bit. Especially since I haven't gone in so long. It's been like 3 weeks, guys. And crazy.
The transform.
You can place PCGs with splines or just get it placed everywhere. Is that... Yeah, that's a method that I see people use a lot. At least from this guy's example. Is they'll use a spline to use... Even in Houdini, people use a spline. I mean, even for like creating a procedurally generated fence, people use a spline. People use a spline to create the buildings, to create, an area of which there will be buildings in. Can you tell me your username? It's a very corny username because I like it's at the top. It's Raleigh Jimenez. But my actual username is Polly G Raleigh because I'm a big nerd and I like One Piece, and you know, you got Monkey D Luffy, and I'm just like they got the power of the D, but me, I got the power of the G with me, you know? God. I laugh because you know, like it is kind of corny. I
Local
get
rotation.
that. But it's real.
That there
The
exactly.
Lord is with us,
Look
guys.
at this offset value.
You can also drop a graph in as a typical Unreal actor, if I'm not mistaken. Really? So you can create it, convert it to an actor, and then use that to instantiate it. So that way you're not, essentially, you're not recreating it every time you're placing the actor.
Heights, which is an integer.
Which that doesn't seem far fetched for the system to allow you to do. In fact, I would say that's probably the
Min.
most performant way to do it.
And
Just sent your request. What are your future plans for streaming? Well, I plan to stream the entire game development aspect of this game and, you know, the development aspect of future games. In the future, if the channel gets big enough, this is a studio. I'm creating a Christian studio. I plan to still continue streaming, but there will be more variety in the people streaming. It'll probably be the people and me who work at the studio, kind of just streaming what they're doing, what they're working on, having a good time. And that's kind of the plan. I think there are actors already, and you can just place and scale rotate. Really. So when does the PCG aspect of that begin? It's just in the blueprint, right? Because from my understanding, what happens is he's using this graph right now, and all this stuff he's telling it to do is all in BPs, right? So every time he places it down, it runs that. So unless it does that prior to loading a level and then it puts those things down, which would be the performant way to do it, right? You procedurally generate everything and then then you can enter the level and you don't have to do it anymore or worry about anything bogging down the game. Why don't you upgrade your streams then? Well, I got some cool stuff. Like we got this here. Let me play the music with it cuz it looks it's a lot better. You know? Which I made in Adobe After Effect. We also have the Be Right Back, which is just the same thing, but it works, you know. I'm planning on creating notifications for the stream at some point. Yes, sometimes we scream in the stream, especially when we've been working on something for a long time. Um, but in upgrades, I don't particularly know what you mean. Like, are you talking about panels and stuff? I don't think there's a way to do panels in YouTube, is there? Let me drag some things around. Because maybe there is, I don't know. But panels are really easy to create. I just haven't had... Oh, by the way, thank you all for the subscribes. For all the people out there. I just haven't found a way to particularly do it. Yeah, I don't know if there is a way to create panels. On Twitch. Oh, you're on Twitch, Jessica. Okay, yeah, I do need to upgrade the Twitch side of things. Sorry. I'll show you guys this. I'll give you a peel into the back screen. So I use Restream. And currently Jessica, she is here on Twitch. I thought you were on YouTube. I apologize, Jessica. Yeah, Twitch definitely needs a revamp because it is currently kind of plain. There's nothing there. But that is something I have to do. We've been spending a lot of time on presentation. For instance, recently, I'll just pull this up. We created a logo for the game, which took what, a week to do. So it's in the works. I move around too much, so it's kind of hard. And this is the current logo. It's a work in progress as well. I want to fix one. I want to add more to the logo, and two, I want to fix the lettering here at the bottom. I feel like it's a little tough to read, like the F and the S a little bit because of the shadows. But yeah, I apologize about that, Jessica. I thought you were on YouTube. My bad. I'm over here like you know, think assuming there should be things, but yeah. Let's scroll down. Can you accept my RQT and Discord? Yeah. Yes, I can. Ba-ba-dum-ba-dum-ba-ba. That might be event hooks to control the generation in BP. That's true. It might be event hooks. And what you mean is like an event that procedurally, or that is basically called to instantiate the procedural aspects.
Or height range.
Um,
Height range, I'm going to do something else.
you know, honestly, so you're saying it does it in here, and then when you drop it in, it doesn't have to do it.
I'm going to take max height.
But what if you like change a value, like for instance a curve when it is on the level,
set height range to this value.
or in the level that you're currently working on?
Only have to set the starting height.
Wouldn't it change, or is it only change according to
this height range?
Yeah, I don't know.
Compile and save.
Let's kind of skip ahead here.
Drag this into the world.
Yeah.
And update this spline right now.
So he creates a spline, control drag, spline. I also mix my words up all the time, guys. Please do have a look. Yeah, I will check them out. Oh, hey, yeah, you have a lot of great work here. You got Scar, dude. How did you know one of my favorite things is Lion King? And this kind of has like a Kingdom Hearts vibe to it. Huh. Legit X-Quad. 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 Let's check it out. Oh, so you're like an entire... Oh, you're watchers. I thought it was like a team. Yeah, this is all great work. So how do you... What softwares do you use for this? Sorry, everyone. I'm going to get back to this real soon here. Boom, 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 boom.
Make the spline a closed loop.
Photoshop and Illustrator. Okay, Blender.
That should be done with the blueprint. Now in the...
Yeah, we'll definitely talk in the future for some things, because I do need help.
I'm going to start with get spline data.
But that'll have to wait until I have some funds to spend for it.
Since the spline actually live in the same blueprint, I'm going to do a spline sampler. This I want to
spline sampler.
On interior, I can leave it at 100 and 100.
Okay.
Then a projection node. I'm just going to use landscape height. For
all right.
And I can uncheck projector.
This looks really easy to like start implementing things though, Simon.
I'll do a bounds modifier.
So he's going to use the bounds.
I want to set it to negative 200, negative 200, 200, 200. And that's because my walls are 400 wide, and 4 walls means I'm going to have a 400 by 400 box. So this sets the bounds to 400 by 400. And
okay.
I'll just do 0 to 1,000. That way, if I tilt the buildings or anything,
I'm surprised you didn't do 5,000. Let me know whenever you want to get started on this. Yeah, we'll have a conversation in the future. It just depends on, like I said, the funding. Currently, I do this all for free. I haven't made much money off of it, which is why I'm pulling to try to at least get 1,000 subscribers here on YouTube. That way, I can start using that money to develop the game further out and start, possibly hiring people. So I will let you know. Thank you so much, Jessica.
Square grid, so it wouldn't make much sense to rotate the buildings. But in this case, I'm not in an actual city. I'm just doing an example of how to build this thing. Next is a density.
It's great. We're using it on a AAA project at the moment. It is janky and it is being refined and polished like everything you eat, but it is nice. I mean, it looks very nice. It doesn't, it's obviously like it's being worked on constantly, so there's always going to be some form of jank to it, but that's why I'm kind of deciding to use Houdini, because like this is their bread and butter, is all this, right? Like the power behind this tool, and then the fact that I can change sliders in UE5 to get that is kind of, it hasn't replaced our Houdini artist yet though, so don't worry. Once it does though, then let me know, because that means I gotta switch over too. Um, yeah, man. Hopefully soon I can figure out how to use this to my benefit, because it is a tough software to learn in respects to all the nodes that you have. Like you only know what your limitations are depending on your node knowledge, it seems like. And just building up the tool sets to kind of approach it. It would be awesome if you got 1,000 subs sometime in this year. It would be. I would probably, I don't know what I'd do, but there definitely would be some dancing involved. Okay, I'm going now. Have a nice day. Thank you, Jessica, so much for stopping in. I appreciate you. You have a wonderful day. I'll make sure to contact you in the future for some work. I do know that I want some emotes done for the channel eventually, and that's going to be, hey, thank you so much for following. Sorry, I got like a little screen here, so it's really hard to see. I have to like pull it up and look at it. But yeah, I will definitely make sure to contact you in the future, especially for like emote work, because emote work is not my favorite stuff to do. There's just a lot of it's very tedious, right? Yeah, we'll have a chat, okay, Jessica? There will be a chat. But just let me know your prices for emotes. Just send me a message in there, and we'll chat after stream, okay? But yeah, Unreal will replace us all if we're not careful, dude. I mean, have you seen Gemini AI? It rhymes now. The name rhymes. That's all they needed. Now it's the future, man. Soon, eventually, where they're gonna try to connect us to circuit, which I'm not gonna do. I'm not gonna do that, but eventually you won't even have to pay for stuff. You just walk through a little boop, get scanned like an item. Some old guy's gonna be like, I remember when they treated us like people. If you want, we can figure it out. Something. Well, my prices depend on the requirement, to be honest. I charge whatever seems reasonable, of course. I mean, every single project is dependent on the level of the project, right? But it's not going to be nothing too crazy. So just let me know your basic prices, and then I'll let you know what I want, and we can adjust them from there, okay? And we'll still have a tip to dip. Dude, it drives me insane because I'm somewhat old. I'm not old, but I'm old, right? And I remember when you would go and you would buy food at some like joint, like not even a restaurant, right? And they would you'd give them the money and that's it. And they'd have a little tip jar if you wanted a tip. Nowadays, they got tips on everything. And it's just like, dude, I'm not going to give you a tip if you're just handing me food. Like, if you drive it to my house, I feel like that requires a tip. If you're serving me at a restaurant and you're, handing me my food, you're talking to me, you're getting me my drinks whenever I need them, the refill, that's deserving of a tip, right? Even the bartender is deserving of a tip because, they got to deal with some crazy type. But, handing me the burger that I ordered when I walked into your joint at McDonald's and stuff, it's like, come on. Come on. I don't need to pay that. I already paid with my appetite. But yeah, let's try to figure out where this particular tile is and go from there. I'm going to, just so you know, chat, I can't see you at the moment because I'm clicking buttons in a folder. So this is how this tile system works. Essentially, you create a grid, and then the decoder goes in, and it tells the grid what to name the points on that grid, and then it assigns these tiles. So in Blender, and this isn't particularly the way you want to do it, you want to create paths in Unreal Engine, right? You want to create paths so you can use blueprints, and it'll just grab that file when you put it into Unreal Engine. But for now, just for testing purposes, mock-up purposes, we're going to be going this route. So what I've done is I've created the tiles that accommodate these, that accommodate, you know, the overall visuals, but I'm naming them that as well. So when I bring them in through Houdini via this geometry file node, it automatically takes those and assigns them to their respectable slot. Jessica, I'll be waiting for your message. Sounds great, Jessica. I'll message you around 2 p.m. PST here on the channel. Might be a little bit later because I have to run and get my kid after that, but you will definitely be hearing from me today, okay? Phantom, welcome Phantom to the channel. How are you doing, my friend? How is your day going? Is it going good? Have you accomplished anything? Because at the moment, I haven't really either. Trying to do something. Trying to figure out Houdini. And it's been a hard one. I'll tell you that much. So we know that from looking at this tile that we're missing and looking at this, we know that what we need is 95 to like 125, 245, 215. It's one of them. It's one of them bad boys. Let's see if I've already started these in here somewhere. 95. I could probably just search it, but you know, I like to make things difficult for myself, like every other developer out there. Yep, we got our corner slots here. Let's kind of just switch these around. Make sure that's aligned perfectly. So what modeling software do you guys use at your studio, Simon? Do you use Maya, Cinema 4D, 3ds Max? Have you watched Wonka? I have watched Wonka, Phantom, and I will tell you, I cried. It was a beautiful movie. I don't want to sound like a big old baby because I'm, you know, supposed to be a big old man. But it was just nice seeing a movie that recreated all those feelings I felt when I watched the first movie when I was a kid. You know, and for them to come in and sing Pure Imagination, but their own variation, it was very, very surreal to me. It was an excellent movie for a musical, and I would watch it again. In fact, I plan on purchasing it when the movie comes out. So, with that being said, I highly recommend it if anyone in here hasn't seen it. I loved the movie and the songs were just perfect. They were, and I loved the way they rhymed things. And I liked how I just wish there was a little bit more mysticism in the movie. Like things, it's hard to explain. So like when he handed the silver lining, right? He handed her the silver lining. It's like this little cloud with a lightning bolt, and I was like, yeah, it looks interesting, but it just felt over the top for me. Like Willy Wonka's his chocolate in the first movie, like it looked generic, but it had like those features in it. I get that they were trying to like modernize it a little bit, but that's the only thing I was kind of like thrown back by, and it's not even that bad. Honestly, I wanted to give the movie a 10 out of 10 when I came out of it, right? But my fiance goes, it was a 6 out of 10. I'm like, you like Gossip Girl. So, come on. Who are we lying to here, huh? So out of respect for her, I give it a solid like 8.5 out of 10, 8 out of 10. Simon Hole says, Blender and Maya primarily. Honestly, Blender is taking over. It's just the purest, and animation using Maya these days is... I heard it's a pretty good experience, actually. But the animation in Blender is getting really good. And looking at some of the features that they have planned for it, I'm extremely excited to test it out and try it at some point. But yeah, Blender is just such a nice program to use. One, it's free, right? So who's not going to try it? And two, the community is awesome. And because it's a very community-based software, a lot of the add-ons, even though their price might be very high, because the software itself is free, it doesn't seem or feel too bad when you purchase them. And because of that, some of these add-ons are really good. Like, I don't know if you've checked out Retopo Flow, but it's essentially like a program. But Phantom, back to Wonka. What was your favorite part of the film? Tell me. Tell me. Sorry, I'm getting crazy, guys. But yeah, let's check out these. So what we do is we're just going to go to File, Export, FBX. We're going to select all that is visible, and we're going to go ahead and figure out where I even set this off to. Animation will be amazing once they get that feature released in Blender, but Maya is the king of animation for now. We also use ZBrush for organics. I've tried ZBrush, and I love ZBrush. I absolutely love ZBrush, and if it wasn't so expensive, I would be using it for sculpting. Just in comparison, it's like that thing. It's kind of like Houdini in the sense where that's their thing, is sculpting. So if you like sculpting, that's the program you should be using. I loved this sculpting on it very much. The hard modeling left a little to be desired, but you can get some results. What I would do is I would hard model something in Blender, import it into ZBrush, and then I would do the necessary things in there. But I have tried ZBrush, and I really did like it. Have you seen Cascadia, Simon? Plus, ZBrush's UI is so modern and intuitive. Dude, it's the best AI. It's the best UI, right? I mean, let's be real. Finding everything in that program is very easy. Like just navigating it and everything. The best experience I've never had because it's horrible. But once you get used to it, like everything, it's very easy. Cascadia or Cascader? I thought it was Cascadia or Cascader. I'd have to look up the difference. I think it's Cascader. Cater. Cascader to my animation desires, please. The easiest way to animate AI assisted keyframes. You know what I really like, Simon, I've been looking at is like the AI learning with animation. It's like, holy crap. One day people are going to use AI for procedural everything. I mean, they're already doing it for Skyrim. I called it when I started going to school for game design. I called it. I was like, they're going to start using it for quest systems. And at the time, there's already like an AI generated Dungeons and Dragon game where you like type in things, it'll tell you the story, and then you'll tell it what you did, and then it'll continue the story. And it's really cool. I forget what it's called though. But yeah, Cascader. Really cool stuff. I just haven't figured out how to use it. It's kind of weird in that sense. It feels like it should be easy to learn, but it's not. It's not. Add life with secondary motion. Enjoy a full range of animation tools. Yeah, I'll have to take some time to try to learn this, especially if I'm going to be doing all the animation, because I would like to have some more oomph to my animation. Right now, my stuff is a little slow in regard to how the movement is. It's not, you don't feel the weight in his movement. Granted, I want to try to sell each and every single character's personality through the way they animate and stuff, because it's, it's in regard to its art style, it's very kid friendly, and I want to have like, this bouncing feel, or like there's weight when they're stepping. And right now it just feels like the running, it's like it's believable, but it's not believable. I love the idea of AI as an aid, but not as replacement. My exact sentiments as well, though I think that's where the industry is going. I feel it's hard to say for the gaming industry. I get what you mean when you say by where it's going. But all the tests that they've done, it's always shown that AI does remarkably a lot better when there's human assistance involved in the way it handles things, right? But with that being said, I feel like people are the ones with the money, and what they want is they want to have something with a human touch to it, right? It'll be very hard for a computer to do that. It'd probably happen one day. But the thing is that it's, trying to learn those emotions and those feelings that go into the mechanic. It's like, how can it understand that? Or like truly understand it. It can read about it and be like, that's why it does it, but it'll never know unless we create like, what is it called? Artificial Intelligence, that movie by Stephen King's, like a robot that has feelings and you can hurt his feelings. That movie was a great movie, by the way, guys. So if you haven't seen Artificial Intelligence, I recommend watching it. It's a tearjerker. But yeah, where did I put this? I'm sorry, I got lost in conversation. It's got to be in world, combined tile set. Now we can re-upload this into here and see if we've found that. And we didn't. So let's go ahead, go back, name this to another thing. And this is the most exhausting part of the process because it's like just playing a weird game. 245. Until we find the right one. And it's like very hard to get different variations. So it's like you can only really handle it once it's comes around, right? You can handle the generic stuff like the side walls and the top parts, but hey, we found it, right? We just have the wrong one. We just have the wrong one. Rename CC. I don't know. So let's try it with, what was it? 245? It was 245. Let's try it with this one. Show that one. Let's go ahead and export these models. I do need to run. Apparently I have to make games myself and not just watch other people do it, but you'll see me again for sure. Thank you so much, Simon Hull, for joining the channel and chatting with me. I appreciate your support, and I wish the best for you in your game development journey as well, and to your team. Good luck with whatever you guys are creating. And when you can show us, please show us in the Discord or let me know, because I'd love to play test it. I did work for a time at Infinity Ward on Warzone as a quality assurance specialist. So with that being said, if you want someone to try to play test your game, I have a small idea of how that kind of works. But yeah, as you can see, now we filled this slot. Phantom says, well, I have a crazy idea. What is that crazy idea, my friend? Is it as crazy as me? Hold up. Let me know. I'll be right back. I'll read it. I got to use the restroom. It's always the coolest things I say that get muted. Phantom OLP says, I want to do an OS. Do you want to go insane and hate everything around you? Or do you mean like operating system? because that's gonna be a fun experience for you. It's a good learning process, but it'll be really hard because I think you have to know like mechanical, or what is it called? Um, why can't I think of the word right now? I hate when that happens to me. It makes me look dumb. Um, You're gonna have to learn machine code, man, or assembly is what they call it, I believe. Do you know a little bit of assembly? Because that would be cool. I thought of doing my own engine at once, and then I read about it, and I kind of tried it, and I was like, yeah, this is going to take a long time, and I'd rather just take a long time making a game. But yeah, man, sky's the limit, Phantom. If you want to make an OS, you make an OS, bro. And when you make it, let me know. I will try it out, or I will look at it. Oh, that is based on Android. So yeah, that's sick. Yeah, show me, man, when you're done. That's cool. Honestly, I'm not trying to make you feel like you can't do it, so don't feel that way. I just know that it's really hard. But like I said, sky's the limit. If you can do it, you can do it. And if you do it, I will call you a genius because it's very difficult to do. So, it's not something for me. I like games. I like making games and feeling like a game maker. But yeah, so we've added this to the thing. We got to find a way to split this. Let's look that up really quick. But yeah, let's go to Google. Let's look at how to turn faces into. I don't even know how you would call it. Ooh, can you use poly split? Poly split. Yeah, you need a split location. Let's go. I hate doing this because I felt like we did this all day yesterday, but I'm gonna kind of scrum through that Houdini tutorial to see how this gentleman went about converting the stuff into the stuff. Start here, my learning. Wow, I don't know if you heard of Illuminate. That is made of some teenagers. Search on Google and tell me what you think. What is it called? Illuminate. Illuminate. Illuminate group. Oh. What is it? Android OS? Phantom? Elevate your phone experience with Illuminate OS. More out of your device. Oh, that's cool. So it's essentially the Android, but they allow you, are available. That's sick. Focus on the following things: design, performance, security, and connectivity. I don't know why it plays better. It just adds a whole new level of customizability to your phone. That's sick. Modern control patterns and much more. IlluminateOS.com. So how do you go about installing this? Apply. Join Illuminate's. Okay, I don't want to join. I want to install. Installations. You have found an unfinished page. Please note that our website. Okay. That looks really cool. Can you use it already, Phantom OLP? Do I have to get it like through the Google Play Store or something? Lighting and rendering. Hair and fur. When I was a child, be the summer now, I'm chilling just now, man. All right. Let's see, world building is what I selected last, I believe. It's not for download yet, but it's in the works. Pretty cool stuff, though, if I must say. It's all right, guys. We know where it's at, particularly in this video. This guy's so skilled. He's so skilled. He knows what he's doing. How does he split the group? Fuse, UV project, merge, null, blast. We get it. Oh, how do you do that, though?
So in here I need the information of these pieces. So these number are number 90 and the bridge is number 86.
Number 68. He said 86.
I'm going to copy this name and we're going to continue with then number 86 and the other number is then 17.
Have you saved recently? No. I've not saved yet. I like that reminder, though. That should be a good reminder. Thank you, Ria. I just love having Ria here. She's really good at just being a great person. Because honestly, we all need to be told to save. You think they'd have more autosave features in these things, man? Maybe it's harder to create than I imagine.
We can then just use a transform and decide how deep the lava should go. So this would be the lava that we are placing.
Boom.
Decide how far it should go.
Boom, boom, boom.
Like -10 would be
By the way, guys, thank you all so much for being here. If you haven't liked the video already, click a like on the video. And if you haven't subscribed, please make sure to subscribe. If you are subscribed and I didn't see it, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now let's see how this guy gets these things to... Because he splits the faces towards the end so he can use them as tiles.
save the asset pulse here. So after I set it, I'm going to get some walls that
He does it towards the end, I believe.
have these points on the edge, which can be quite interesting in this case.
Boom, 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 boom.
Why am
Haha, it's easy to forget when you're really focusing on your work. Yeah. I mean,
one roll, so it's a nice
you get so involved. At some point, you just forget everything that's going on.
bits on the side.
And I do that way too much. Plus, I'm talking and stuff, and I'm already kind of lowbrow, so.
I'm gonna check and unique point.
Ooh, unique points. So it was Face It. But yeah, I'm kind of lowbrow, so like if I talk too much, I'll forget things. Master voice. How you get your motivation to learn? You know what it is, man? Finding what you like and then wanting to learn how to do it. I will say that it is an acquired skill because I think learning is a very, very difficult, it's a very strenuous process. It's very exhausting to learn. And anyone who's gone to school or done school knows that that's the truth. So it's all about training your mind to look at whatever you're trying to learn as something, as an asset for you. Like you want to learn it. Like it can be boring, but you have to make up something in your head that makes that learning or whatever you're learning something that's vital to you. And once you've done that, it's really easy to learn. You know, you got to train your mind. But yeah, that's how I find my motivation. I really want to make a game, right? And I figure if I learn how to use Houdini, not only will I create that procedural aspect for my game that I really want to add, right? But I'll also be able to add it to my resume or my portfolio. So there's two things right there. And on top of that, I make cool stuff. That's three things. And on top of that, I can help other people learn cool stuff, right? So the list goes on and on. You just got to find those reasons. It could be more than 4, obviously, to learn, right? Some people, like if you're a selfless person, you got to find a reason as to how it helps others around you. And I guess you could say this by making this game, I'm doing that too, because you know, I really want to have some more positive representation for the Christian community through these games. I want to create games that are a unique but great bridge to the faith and help people learn more about it and enjoy it at the same time. It is a Christian game, but it's not like, you know, a Christian game where you're constantly learning the Bible. It's more about teaching you about the people in the Bible through stories. So yeah, that's a little introduction on the game I'm working on. But, you know, yeah. Sorry guys, I do that a lot too. I go on rants. It's my thing. If you're new here. So if you're new here, welcome to the stream. How does he, so can I use like this to, we don't want to cusp the polygon, but I'm assuming now you can use a transform, not transform access. Now I have to click it down. That's the only thing I don't like about Houdini is like if I accidentally select a node, if I right click to get rid of it, it doesn't get rid of it. You have to select it. You have to actually use it. And then it does that. So let's scale. Okay, that just scales it universally. Can I scale? Can I pivot the transform maybe? Or I can't scale by per face. Let's see what he uses.
Points. So basically all primitives are now separate. So they're connected to each other. Then I want to use the primitive node itself.
Okay.
And in here we're going to enable do transform. And we're going to set the scale to 0.
That's sick. So I know what he does to make these into points. He scales these. I just didn't know how he's scaling them individually. Primitive. What was that? Primitive properties now? Let's check, guys. But yeah, the sky's the limit, master voice. You just got to remember to tell yourself that every day that you can do it. Because sometimes you get lost in that, you know? It can be very difficult. Game design or just learning. You got to keep waking up and finding a reason. And if you look for that reason, you'll find it, man. You will find it. Pivot transform. Okay, so this does the whole thing. I've done do. Yeah, it is very hard to focus on. I try and lose very fast concentration and will. Yeah, I have ADHD myself, so I suffer with that. But you just got to find... So remember this, Master, is that there is more to game development than programming and designing and art. You know, there's also a cinematic value to it. There's story play, screenwriting, whatever you want to call it. I don't do that, so I don't know the proper terminology, but you get the point. There's a lot of things that come into making a game. And if you don't find one of those things fun, you can always try another job. Or maybe you find something that no one ever thought of before. And then you do that. And then everyone's just like, we need this guy because he does that one thing that no one does. You know? So yeah. Trust me, I know. It's very hard. It is very hard, but you can do it. If you set your mind to it. You can do it if you set your mind to it. Why was that already set? I don't get it. And this is lying to me, chat. This guy is freaking lying to me. It's not doing anything. What is the information here? Primitive properties. Primitive properties. Input 1. This is ridiculous. Invalid attribute, unknown name, N. Oh. Position. Does that work now? It doesn't work. That makes me sad. It makes me sad. And mad. I have too many of these dashboards up. By the way, guys, we are halfway to 200. Right? We're at 156. We're more than halfway, guys. So if you haven't subscribed, click the subscribe button. It puts a smile on my face. And if you haven't already, you can join the community. We're a growing community. So if you want to be a part of that, go ahead and do the things. We already got a comment. W. Liwa. Give a like to that. And by the way, guys, in the Discord, please make sure to not feel shy, right? We all love the same thing, which is game design. And from what I know, we all have a clear love for God, or at least a clear love for game design. So we have that in common. So don't feel shy. Share your work. Critique work. Just be nice about critiquing work. I've seen some critiques in the past. They're not always the nicest, which is fine because, people got to learn. Not everyone does it to be mean. They're just very logical individuals. So keep that in mind too when you get a critique or something. But yeah, make sure to share and to communicate and talk. It's a great way to make friends. And I don't know why this isn't doing the thing. He does the thing. Why does the thing work for him? Scale rot trans. And he uses the... Oh, you know what it is? Let's go ahead and build. Let's do the normals. First, we're going to go normal. Before we divide these into two individual pieces, let's connect that. Now we have ourselves a normal. All right. I don't know why we don't have. I want to do these add normals to the primitives. Right. And that should give us, yep, normals. Awesome. Indicated by these little arrows here, guys. What are you trying to learn right now, Master? What are you having a hard time with, my friend? We've created the unique points. We're going into the primitive. We're no longer using P, but we're going to use N because it looks that's why how he's scaling it down. And then he's scaling the scale factor, I'm assuming.
Then I want to use the primitive node itself. And we're gonna set the scale to 0 then.
Yeah. Hopefully this works now. We'll find out. Still don't work. Oh wait. Much. Oh, it just scales it universally. Oh, that's why I set everything to a pivot. But even then, it's not scaling these per face. Particle, meta, attribute, transform. Scale rot, RX, R. Maybe I'm using the wrong primitive function for this. Scale individual. Labs, polyscalpel, vector from scalar, calculate spline, labs connectivity and segment. It's not working the way we want it to work. But that's okay. It's not really, but we'll work with it, I guess. Why is that not working? I've done a unique face, like he's said. I don't think I'm primitives. We're using primitives. Make normal unit length, pre-compute normals, which I probably could have done between this and that. And if we look, we have the normals. If we come in here and we were to watch this, it still just does it universally instead of individually. And here he's using the same function and able to get results that he likes. And you're gonna set, well, let's see, is it, yeah, we have our individual faces, right? These are all individual, and just to test that, ooh. Snap distance, we do the group deletes, normal, and it does do it because we're seeing these overlay in the vectors. And then we're coming into the primitives and we're selecting these. It looks like these in particular are by themselves, so maybe I should, I wonder why that's happening. Is there more than one primitive here? Because, I mean, maybe I'm selecting the group. But if you look, it's kind of like glitching out, especially if I hover over the edge or in this general edge area. That's interesting. Why don't you want to work for me? Close meta surface weight particles face. I feel like it's something. This is all UV stuff, so it's like eh. Scale rot transform. Yeah. Let's look this up. How to scale faces individually. Houdini. Use poly extrude, check transform extrude front, leave the space at local and play around with the scale. Use poly extrude. Let's check this out, guys. Let's see if this is a workable method for what we're trying to accomplish here. Transform extrude front. Okay. Leave the space at local and change this from here. But yeah, we do that. I don't want to do that. I want to change the entirety. And if you look here, it's kind of, it's doing, yeah, there is still a face there. Did I fuse this before I did fuse this? We fuse all of these to connect them. We extrude the silhouette. And we've decided to keep that face as such, right? And then we blast everything else besides this so we can add it to this. We polyfill it. Do I need to delete? I mean, it's right here, right, guys? Oh, wait. Oh. I mean, we're grabbing the whole thing now. If I were to use poly extrude on this, what happens? Are we going to get the same result? Transform locally. Let's scale. Yeah, we get the same result. That's primarily because we have that. I mean, that works fine. So maybe I had the wrong thing selected. Nope. Is there any way to delete overhangs or delete, or maybe we can blast those things out? Delete unused groups. Hold up. Before we do face it, let's delete. Or before we do that, let's delete. Yeah, but if we delete that, it's just gone, right? Which is interesting. Reverse doesn't even exist. Oh, so reverse does exist. So we delete reverse. We delete, oh. Have you saved recently? I did. Thank you to Ria. We are not as far back as we should be. Oh, man. Oh. File. We're going to open wave collapse and hopefully not be too far back. Because that's always depressing. Bum, 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 bum. So how far are we back? We are relatively far back. So, oh no, it actually saved prior to that. Not very small part. Before we delete very small parts, we want to blast that. We come in here with the polyfill. Okay, so in the group delete, we want to, before that, we want to blast the reverse group because it creates two groups for some weird reason. And then I think after that, we should fuse, honestly. Fuse. And then we can delete those groups because they're no longer necessary. Then in here, we can create the face it node. Have you watched Trolls 3? I have not. Is it good? I should have with my daughter, but she's not she was into Trolls and she's kind of grown out of it. I took her to see Wonka though, and she really loved it. She got a little bored towards the end because, you know, a 2-hour movie is just a long movie for a kid. But afterwards, she's like, I really loved that movie, Daddy. My sweet little baby. Oh, my sweet little girl. I love her. So let's try primitive now, huh? See if that works now. Oh, let's see if we're getting that same issue. Dang it! Why is that happening? What's going on here? How do you delete overlaying geometry? That's got to be a thing in this, right? Delete overlaying geometry. Houdini. Let's go ahead before this. Delete over this node type depreciated. Use polydoctor instead. Polydoctor. The polydoctor. Polydoctor. I like how it's created that freaking, what's it called? I'm with the movies. I watch every movie that world can have. I like movies. I like movies as well. They're fun. But now we have like all these little random stuff. It's like, how do we get rid of that? I mean, we're not getting the double up anymore. But now we have whatever the heck this is. Message null. Null, is that what the message you're gonna give me? Null? I should have deleted you. Here. And we fuse everything. Maybe I'm not fusing these right. Near points, grid, closest target points. If you want, you can watch Trolls 3 with your daughter because it was a big blow with this movie because now humans appear. Really? Humans appear in the movie? That's pretty sick. I don't want it to be creating these edges. Topology. Ignore. Repair. Or ignore. Mark. Repair. I mean, then it grabs all of these. So it's like these aren't even really fusing. I'm not adding these together. Even though I'm merging them. It makes no sense. I merge these things together. I blast that old group. Right? But we're still getting this result where there's like a funky secondary thing going on. Yeah, and they stole Troll's talent to sing. Don't ruin it for me, man. Don't ruin it for me, bro. I feel like I've watched the movie already. But it does sound like a good movie. So humans finally show up. And then they steal the Troll's ability to sing. All right, yeah, let's use Polydoctor again. Maybe we need to just figure out self-intersecting. Mark, I don't know. Mark, ignore. Repair, ignore. Primitives. Ill-formed, 5+ edges. Repair, ignore. Okay, mark, repair. Non-convex, repair. Pair overlaps. Hey, let's go. Let's go, guys. It worked. But now, if we do transform, and we use the N, hey, now that works too. Awesome. Right? And then we can fuse these together. Fuse. This is going to happen in another RP geometry, just so y'all know, but I'm working it out in this one. What keep fuse points? What do you mean? In Romania, they doubled the songs, just 50%. Like they sing in English and random, they sing in Romanian. That's actually kind of cool, though, if you think about it. So you're saying I need to watch the Romanian version so I get more song variety. Let's see. Why? Grid. Nearest point. Average value. Remove all. Well, let's see how he does it, because apparently I can't figure it out. Ugh. Sa sa sa. Sa. It's two siblings that sing. Yeah, it's I remember watching the trailer. What's his name? Wood or Branch or something like that, as brothers that are singers, and he was a part of a singing group. Freaking Justin Timberlake. Justin Timberjake. Let's see. How does he do this again? Take us to the thing. Okay, we remove the top. We make, yep. And then he
video
scales everything down.
points. Now important here also is the normal direction. So we need to have a normal where the model should face. So actually before I did the face, let's also add here a normal attribute. Set this to point normal.
Okay. Okay. So we should set the normals when we do this before primitives or before face it. I think it's after face it. Boom. Points. Boom. Now if we do the point normal, do that one, you'll see we get normals. And then we do the repair doctor. The doctor repair didn't work. That's ridiculous, mates. What happened? What happened? This is ridiculous. I thought I got rid of the overlapping. Repair. But then we do that. Ignore. Repair. Oh, baby. How did you reappear? I'm so sad, dude. I thought we figured it out. My brain was so happy and ecstatic and overjoyed, and now we're just really annoyed. Look at this guy. But now that we fuse, if we keep points, we still have this random offset point. And I believe these are all in the center, right? Yeah, they're in the center. This is an interesting situation that we're finding ourselves in. I thought the polydoctor worked. Whoa, where did I go? Yeah, it worked momentarily. Pair overlaps. I don't want to pair the overlaps. I want to remove them. Remove the overlaps. Overlapping. Mark. Repair. Edges. If only I could send them to like a group, right? Phantom, and then delete them forever. But then I use face it. How do I get a hold of this? Max passes 1,000. 1,000 edges and points. Want to see a little part of the movie? Not really. But if you really want to share it, share in the Discord and I'll check it out. But I can't watch it on stream or else I'll get yelled at by YouTube. And they'll be like, then I got to deal with the YouTube rep. Him telling me I'm dumb and me agreeing that I'm dumb. And then, you know, right? Primitives. Disconnected points. Ignore repair. Repair. I swear, once I did like repair here, but even then, it's getting overlaps. Delete the overlapping repair. Delete them. Pair the overlaps. Destroy them. Crush them with your polydoctor hands. Polydoctor isn't working. Ignore these. Repair these. Destroy them. Take them out of existence. Local area threshold. Turn everything up. Repair. And it crashed. There, I sent it. SENT, my homie. Yeah. I'll have to watch this after stream, my friend. I am tired. I want to sleep. Sorry, I probably shouldn't try to do UK voice. I've always really wanted to learn how to do the accent, but I never figured it out. And it just sounds like I'm mocking when I'm not. So I apologize if you guys feel that way. it's just such a fun and interesting accent, and I'm upset that I can't do it. I have my boring American English accent. YouTube Studio. Oh. I can't believe that it's 12:13 already. Ridiculous. By the way, guys, I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm really excited for the game Enshrouded. It comes out Wednesday, so I'll probably be playing that. Just so y'all know. I see you. Overlapping edges. Overlap. Poly. Why does it still exist? This is ridiculous. I merged them. Maybe I need to group delete that reverse here. Reverse. Right? So then when we merge, nope, we're still getting it, even though we've merged them now. Right? For some strange reason, we have our faces here. I don't know why they're... And then I fuse them. Boom. We have wall mass. Boom, boom, boom. We have just a... I mean, I could essentially just polyfill them here. Right? And then I group delete. Reverse. Boundary group. Very small. We go to blast. We delete everything besides that. We have... I saw it. It's still here. For some strange, irregular reason. If I delete the very small part, right? In this thing. Why? Why? I use this. I blast very small part, I guess. Everything beside it. And then I have this remaining. I polyfill it. And instead of reverse unique points, but we still have that. Maybe there's quadrilateral grid. Corner offset. Oh. How do we... That's a really stubborn section, it is. It's making me miserable. It's like it should just work, but it's not just working, and I don't know why. And it's like once you figure it out, it's like you're set forever, but until then, you're just kind of stuck in this very weird area where you can't do anything about it until you slam your head against the wall. It's like I'm trying to do the I tried and it didn't work method, and then it works, right? Reverse. You're still there, you slimy little stinker butt. Very small group, but then it's gone. It's gone if I delete very small group. However, if I keep reverse, so reverse plays no role in what's going on here. Chase Lee asks, what's going on now? I'm trying to get rid of this overlapping area. Maybe I can use Polydoctor in here. Let's use the Polydoctor. It says remove overlapping geometry. Doesn't remove the overlapping geometry. Pair them Ignore that. It's still there. Hi, say I to me, please. Was that IL1? I've said them all to you. Lightdations. Thank you for joining the channel, by the way, my friend. Light, man. Light. The light. Brought to you by the Bible. The Bible. The Bible. How's it going, my friend? Thank you for joining the chat. I'm sad that you get to join us when we're not getting anywhere with the progress of the development because Houdini's being a stinker butt. That's what I've come to the conclusion of. Fill with non-overlapping pack. How could I delete overlapping primitives? The cookie tool should work, but I can use it on polygons. I may be wrong. I'm quite new. Although if you have two boxes right next to each other, why not just make one box instead? Cookie. That should be easy for a fat person like me to use. The cookie sop tool. Cookie sop. There's no cookie sop. They lied to me. I'm depressed. Cookie will cook with timeout. We don't need none of that. Has the name of the cookie sop changed? By Boolean node. Boolean. That's easy. Union. We're going to draw a union between these guys. And I guess delete them completely, but that's not the point here. We have a union. They're unified now. They should just become one. I sub. Thank you so much, Light. I appreciate you. Lightdations. By the way, if your profile is set to private, I won't see it. So thank you, though. I appreciate you. How's your day going, man? What do you like about game development, and what particular aspect of it do you do? And by the way, if you want to join the Discord community, the Discord link is in the description of this video. So you can join that. And just another friendly reminder for everyone in here, please don't be shy. You know, interact with one another, talk, share your stuff, critique things, ask for critiques, you know, ask to work with stuff with each other, right? Or if you're, you know, not into that, you don't have to do that. But I just feel like it's a good reminder to give to everyone because, you know, we are a growing community, and I know it can feel sometimes you don't want to talk or, you know, seem weird or something, but we have a lot in common through this channel. I mean, we all love game design, right? And we love God. So there's two things already. Now go find out the other things. Union. The union boolean does not work again. Yeah, nothing's working for me. I replaced by boolean node. Assuming the point of overlapping faces are all infused distance, use a clean sop with consolidate points. All right, clean sop with consolidate points. And that does consolidate points. It's still there. Why is it there? What's going on? Let's look at the geometry sheet. Maybe there's something in the geometry sheet that'll explain to me why we are having such a horrible time here. I love it, and I make games on Roblox. That's cool. I actually, one of my teachers, when I was learning or obtaining my associates in game design, he actually worked on Roblox as a designer. And I believe he still works on Roblox as a designer for the tools that people use, like you, to make the content for Roblox. His name's Tom Smith. Great man and great game designer. But yeah, you could see here we have 7, 7, 28, 28, 28, 124, 112, 112, 193, 28, 20. So there is overlapping geometry here. Delete unused groups. Did that get rid of it? No, it didn't. Primitive threshold. Delete small manifold patches. I don't think it exists anymore. Yeah, it doesn't exist. Yes, I love making games. What have you made anything for Roblox yet? Because you can share that in the Discord too. Like the links and stuff. Just make sure when you join in to select a role, either developer role or something like that, and you can share it in the work and tell section of the Discord. Fix overlaps. I like that one. Doesn't work. I guess it's because they're not overlapping. Maybe they're not overlapping or something like that, even though it looks like they're overlapping. I will join. Yes, okay. I will join. Sorry. Maybe I've talked about the Discord too much. You don't have to join, man. But you have to join, man. All right. I just want to click the welcome button, okay? Is that a problem with you? Light? I want to see your cool stuff, dude. Why are you mad at me, bro? Delete overlapping pairs. Why are they not deleting the overlapping pairs? This should be an instant spaghetti thing. It should be instantaneous. By the way, welcome to the Discord. Lightdations. I appreciate you. Fix overlaps enabled. I'm gonna cry. I can feel it. Fuse plus convert line plus polypath, even though convert line may not be necessary. You know, maybe that's why it's there, because this is maybe this is a curve, which is why I wanted the sheet. Group very small classes. There's 2 classes, but it looks like these are all points, so maybe I have to convert. Do these create what you trying to do? Okay, so I'm trying to create procedural generation for the game using Houdini. Right now, it's all a bunch of numbers, but currently, this is our level. It's flipped. Usually people use this for rooms, but it's flipped upside down. And this is, we're making a 3D platform or infinite platformer / runner with city management aspects built into it for the mobile device, Android and Apple. And right now we have these little areas that are just like, I want to create a method to either delete or connect to them. Right now I'm trying to delete this area, right? So what I've done is I've created a grid. I've created this grid. I've copied it to all these points. I've blasted to separate these two so I can join them together and essentially rename them, yada, yada. And the issue that I'm currently running into is that there's an overlap edge with this particular, hold up. It's because I used the clean. Yeah, I think this is, it's probably a curve. But yeah, I'm trying to find a way so I can add these together, right? Fuse them, and then essentially individually turn them into a points, set the stuff, add them to this, and then essentially it will plug this hole in here, right here. And then I want to find a way to connect bigger portions. So, I mean, it's kind of easily done with just the extract silhouette. You can delete them, but you have to add them back into the decoder so it will know what tile to place here. Oh, I understand. I am smart. Big brain. I wish I was smart. I have small brain. I have very small brain. Because if I had big brain, this would not be here anymore. It would be gone. And we would already have procedural generation involved in the game. Can you test the game? You want to see the game? Is that what you're asking, my friend? Yeah, I can show you the game. It's very, and also if you want, you can also, if you're looking for the development process as of far with the game here on the channel, we do have some quick logs under the Judah and Friends playlist that you can go ahead and look at and watch those too if you want to get updated to this point. I try to make them weekly for people who can't make it or have just joined. That way they can kind of catch up. But I will play the game so you can kind of see what we got going on here. And I'll be right back. I gotta use the restroom, but I am launching the game. I apologize for the wait. Let's go ahead and skip the restore. Did it crash again? It did crash again. Okay, Chase. It crashed. And then I got off. I was like, I'm not dealing with this. I've got better things to not do. Oh, let's give our body a good old stretch, chat. I like those I exercise stretches because they make you feel like you're getting kind of burf and you're like, yeah, I'm stretching because I'm getting burf. But yeah, this is the game so far. I'd probably prefer to play it on this because it's a little bit more accurate to how you'd be playing on your phone. Right? So far we have health pickups. Don't worry about all the static stuff right now. This is all a work in progress. But currently, as of the moment, you can climb objects that are designated to be climbed. You can wall jump. And you can also wall jump off of non-climbable objects. So you can, reach areas. I still have a lot to do in regard to perfecting the movement to make it more snappier, more expressive. But as of the moment, this is kind of where we are at in the mechanical aspect of the game development. Right now, we're currently trying to work on a little bit of the presentation. We'll need some better animations. We do have some vaults in, but as you can tell, they're not perfect, so they definitely need work. As well as the animations and a lot of other things. So, yeah, if it sounds like a cool project, and someone else is watching this, please make sure to click the like and subscribe button. I plan to make this a seasonal game with hopefully new environments and new characters coming out every season. There'll only be 12, right? Yeah, we do have to find a way to fix the vaulting animation. Well, in particular, to what we're facing here, right? There's different states or different vaultings that should be considered or animations when we're vaulting. For instance, when we're in the air, you should have a different vaulting for that. When you're climbing up here, right now it's just broken, But when you're walking on the ground, yeah, it's not working at the moment. We do have to fix the vaulting, but the things I'm talking about is, when you walk into something and you vault it, should be completely different from when you're jumping into something and you vault it, right? There should be a different animation. Yeah, but we're getting there. We're just working on some other features right now. And thank you, Light. I appreciate it. We've been working on this for about what now, chat? About 2 months, a little less, give or take. Yeah, that's where we're at. And currently so just so you get an idea of how the world system is going to work, this isn't really particularly the tile set we're using for it, but the idea is that we're creating these floors, and inside of these areas, platforms are going to be created, as well as, things in the background. So there's a lot of work ahead of us in regards to the world. But yeah, this is the starting phase, and that's why I'm in Houdini, because, I'm trying to kind of maneuver some of the tasks in between different programs. Yeah, the game is named Judah and Friends. So it's a Christian-based game. There's going to be some biblical mechanics in it, chat. And but the thing is that I don't want to overexert those so much that other people will be thrown off by it. I want to use this game as a way to give a friendly introduction to the religion, and make it something that everyone can play and have fun with it, right? But the primary idea is that, we've always had characters like Mario and Sonic, and they're these action heroes, I guess you could call them, that fight, either Eggman or Bowser. And to me, I'm like, man, Christ is the ultimate kind of action hero, so why don't I make a character that is based off of him, that kind of resembles him, and we use biblical stuff to build or the Bible to build his personality, and draw comparisons between them. Runny Climb, or Funny Vault. That's another one, right? Funny Vault, because the vaulting is far from being exactly what we want it to be. On a good news though, I am hoping to talk to a Christian comic book artist who will possibly be doing some concepts for the game. So let's pray for that, chat, and hope that comes through. I'm just praying that everything comes together the way that God wants it to. And I'm trying to, while I feel like I want to have control of the game, I'm trying to release a lot of that control to God so he can use me and the team to create something that he would love and appreciate. So let's pray for that as well. Add GUI. Yeah, and just everything's GUI, kind of like the Ark games, if you haven't played them. It's just one giant GUI mess. And every time you pick up something, it doesn't tell you like what you picked up. It's just like, you got the thing. You picked up another thing. You have 5 things. And it's like, what does a thing mean? It just has the pictures, so you have to look at what you picked up. Gooey. You got the ooey or the gooey. The gooey ooey. Kind of sounds weird, so I retract that. But not growy. Oh, they call it gooey. Gooey. The GUI. Yeah, people call it GUI or gooey. I know, because I worked at a studio and that's what they said. They'd be like, make sure the GUI works. Test the GUI. And I was like, what's GUI? And they're the GUI. Button on the screen. Button on the screen. Yeah. So right now on my phone, there is a button on the screen. We do have to fix that, by the way, chat. Because right now, the way it works, and I'm just going to show this, right? If you guys can see this, I don't know if you can see it, but there is a little GUI here that allows you to control the character and maneuver him around. But I want that to work a little bit differently. And the vault isn't in this particular one, so yeah. But yes, there is a GUI, but since we're playing via the computer, I have it so it's set to receive MNK inputs, but when it's mobile, it receives those inputs. I also want to try maybe get a backbone in case somebody wants to use that and make sure everything works well with it. So yeah, we're doing it. We're doing it. It's happening. It's going. Sorry, I'm a person with a lack of words most of the time. I prefer to do things. So I'm not much of a terminology guy as much as I try to be, because terminology sounds cool, but it's still there. You know, let's see. Does these it resample length? We can resample the length. And this, send a link to download on phone and laptop. I don't have a link for it right now. It's currently not in a playtestable state. But once we get some more things in, it will be. And when that happens, it's good that you're in the Discord, because that's where I'm going to be going to find playtesters. So make sure to set that as a role, chat. I'm going to be adding playtesters, or game testers, I think the role is called. I don't know what it's called. And that's awesome. Your name's Daniel. I was reading Daniel last night. It's a very good book in the Bible. Let's see. Welcome, General. Get your roles. What is it called? Yeah, game testers. So I gotta look this up. Does the silhouette create a polygon from these? Or does it create... Does silhouette... I don't know how to spell that. Create... Yeah, people are getting overlapping geometry. You know what I could do is use it to extrude, maybe. To... Oh yeah, he does like the something edges. Remove edges? Shared edges. Maybe if we do this down here. This is ridiculous, chat. We remove the shared edges. Let's do the clean. I just feel like we're doing all this random stuff to try to remove these points. And it's completely... It's like I want you to fix the overlaps, or I guess it deletes the overlap pairs. It's not fixing it. Now let's look in the geometry sheet. Yeah, and we still have overlapping pairs. Or actually, I guess it's the names for these that I'm looking at. I want to look at 6, 5, 5. Yeah, see, 5, 5, 5, 5. 6. But yeah, these don't share anything. We have one. How many of these? 1, 2, 3, 3. So that's about that right there. Okay, so there's 9 points now. So let's try, after we've done that, to polyfill. And I don't think I need to do all these. I've blasted the reverse. I've blasted the small part. Remove excess land mass. Remove reverse group or geo. I got an idea to fix it. What is the idea? I think I might have fixed it, but we don't know. Remove shared edges, which I could have just called it clean. Remove overlaps, so my brain can look at these. Delete class ATB, class and N. ATB. But before we do that, let's go ahead and polyfill this in. But that's the cool thing about this is that, oh, I think I got rid of it, chat. I think I got rid of it. Nice. No, not nice. This stinks. I'm mad. It looks like it's something to do with the fuse. When I just come here and when we merge it. Who's messing with my program? Somebody's seeing if they can turn my stuff on. Yeah, I'm gonna have to reformat my PC because somebody's obviously messing with the things on my computer. Thus the life of an indie game dev who streams and probably is a little too open about things. So if you want to climb it, then make a thing, and then when you touch it, it makes you float. Yeah. That would be awesome. I actually like that mechanic, like you float in the air, kind of like hovering. Yeah, this is still here. I delete it here. No, now it's there again. I got rid of it, and then it reappears. It keeps reappearing. It's like, the geometry. It says we only have 10, right? We have these in pieces here. It's not giving me anything else. Yet somehow we're still seeing it in the system, which is super annoying. You need to leave? I'm sorry to hear that, man. Thank you for joining, though, and hanging out and being a part of the community. I'll catch you around. We stream here every day, 10 a.m. PST to about 2 p.m. PST, okay? So if you find yourself wanting to hang out and you see me live, join in. Yeah, that is strange, though. Some stuff just keeps happening weirdly. At this point, I think somebody might be accessing my PC via my IP or something of that nature. That's what I get for clicking on strange links. Which was that link? There's got to be a way to remove whatever the heck's going on here. I'm just joking. I'm back. Why are you playing with my heart like that? Like, I can't take you lightly anymore. I'm joking. Welcome back, man. You're free to leave and come as you will. I thought I fixed it. I thought I fixed it. Hold A to select full. This is ridiculous, dude. This is like a bug. 100%. Remove reverse group, remove shared edges. We make sure we only have that geometry. We remove the overlaps to make sure there's no overlapping. But there's definitely an overlap because if we delete overlapping oh. But it's still there. I'm a YouTuber. Really? Let's check out your channel. Let's check you out, sir. We gotta make sure you pass the YouTube test. Let's see. How do I go to the thing to check the thing? It doesn't let me check the thing. Ridiculous. I have to click what? View in the live control room. Let's check you out. Lidations. Boop-a-doop-boo. I guess you have... Oh, it's because I'm on my thing. Oh, hey, Lidations.
So, I know it's late in this channel, but if you're new here in this channel, well, welcome to Lidations. Please, can you support us?
We have supported my friend. Keep up the good work, buddy. Keep up the good work. I'll check out your content sometime, all right? Let's see, what's going on here? Why is it not deleting? This is ridiculous. I can't delete this overlap. This is what's holding me back, is little dumb things like this. Maybe we have to clean it in here after the merge, and that's why I just felt like I could do it prior the merge. And it's still there. Hold up. I'm sorry. Consolidate points. It's still there. I just want to click delete on it. Wait a minute. I said I wanted to click delete on it. I clicked deleted on it and it blasted it away. And now everything is fixed. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Group 258. When was group 258 even a thing? Geometry sped. Let's look at the group. Where's the group channel? Details. Group 258. That's the group. It was 258. $258 it was. And a part of 258 was 388, 193. Please watch one video, Stickman. I will after the stream, okay, buddy? What type of content you have? I have a daughter who's like 6, and I let her watch YouTubers if I think they're good. And you look like gamer. I would be very happy. Sounds great, man. Yeah, I will check out your stuff later and drop a like. But it's always nice to see. So you want to do animations. That's cool. No group matches reverse very small parts. I mean, it's there. I no longer have the issue that I had. But if I delete this, then it's there. Hiding in the shadows. Wait a minute. Don't tell me it's because I had this clicked. Or this, I had like this clicked. And I was like down here looking at this, so it created that when it was never there. But yeah, we're back to that issue. But if you hit delete, it will delete. It'll blast that. We'll check out your channel, Light, and a comment. I will. Just keep it up, man. Are you the next Ryan's World? All right, now we can start doing all the things. Like we can, was it poly extrude? Or actually it's face it. So we can, or facet, I call it face it. Guess from group. Pre-compute normals. Now we want to select unique points. And then from here, we want the primitive properties. Drag those down. But I think before that, we want to make a normal so we can get the, I'm going to set this to points. So then when we get our normals, Lord knows however you achieve that. Right now it's just this. Look. Flip normals, or how do you do normal? Reverse normals. And that should reverse you, but let me guess. That isn't gonna reverse you. You won't reverse yourself. You'll stick right there. How can you recalculate the normals, huh? Recalculate normals. This is ridiculous. I've fused these together. Maybe I should fuse after the blast. Get rid of these bad guys and fuse them together. Then we use face it. But I probably want to get the normals after we blast. Nope, we're still having them opposite. Yeah, we're having some issues by vertex. Reverse normals. And that doesn't even work, it feels like. How does this not work the way? Override. I mean, I delete the normals in here specifically to get rid of this. And then I use a blast node to get rid of that particular group, which is just a bad idea because the primary issue is that it doesn't matter primary subnet of input geometry to delete, because the thing that it's going to change depending on the tile. So it's like, this isn't a good way to handle this. God, have mercy on me. Have mercy on me. Let's see. What's a better way of obtaining these groups? Why is this 258? When do I even create that group? Up here when I get this very small parts? Or I extrude? Because the whole point of me doing the silhouette, right, and getting this particular point, and even this one's up. We delete this, or we delete the very small parts. We remove the excess landmass. We do this, then we do this. We remove the shared edges, and that actually shifts the normal a little bit, it looks like. Look, check that out. Look how it shifts the normal just a little bit. But if we go to geometry node, we still just have 9 geometry that we're selecting here. If we go like this, we remove the overlaps, we polyfill. One thing we should probably do, reverse patches. There we go. And probably not make an edge loop. But interesting. When do we create that group though? And how do I even see it in the geometry spread? Like if I come here or here and I select this, I get 258. There's no group name. 258. 258. Where is it? Oh, no. I know, man. It's a constant tug of war. No. 5 minutes left for me. Hey, man, you got to go to bed. When mama and dad say go to bed, you go to bed. You got to listen to your parents. They're your parents for a reason. Unless they're telling you to do, jumping jacks in the rain or something. I don't know. Map offset, only show selected. Quick watch one. I will after the stream because I don't want to. I'm trying to figure this out. I'm sorry, buddy, but I will tell you what I think in the Discord. Okay. Hold up. I hear an alarm going off. The Stickman video? Fine, we'll watch the Stickman video. Which one? The stick fight.
Uh-oh.
This is a long video. Oh, he threw him. And it goes on like that forever. Part 1. We got to watch part 1. All right. Do you have part 1, buddy? Stick Fight 1. 3 parts. Oh, it has all the parts in here. Okay. So this is part 1. All right, chat. So you better go and show this young man support. He's a future animator. Like for part 2. Why he's got to throw the green guy? Why not just throw the yellow guy? Very good. That's just what the great thing about the internet is, man, is that young individuals like yourself have access to so many cool softwares I wish I had access to when I was young. But it's going to lead to like people who do great work in the future. I really liked it. I'll comment on it later, though. I'll comment on it later. You have my word. And you have a good night, all right? Lightdations. Make sure to tell your parents that they're the best. All right? I got the blast. That's crazy. So in here, like if I get access to this and I delete it, it blasts, but it's just saying another group. So it's group 0. So it's like one vertice, I think, that's throwing everything off here. That's creating an engon. Engon. Clean. I mean, the clean node should handle that. Clean. What is the no, destruction, clean up. Remove overlaps. Orient polygons. But you could still see we have this one polygon in the middle. So when we polyfill, we're not polyfilling completely. I wish when I selected this, it would tell me H to select by flood fill. Like, look. Why are you doing this to me? And this is the thing. Should I convert? Maybe I have to convert it to all types. Maybe it's a curve. from type, convert to polygon. Division per span. I should probably put that here, because then we're actually down here. Boom. So all that is left is this. If I convert this and then polyfill it, what happens then? We still have that. Division per span. Very small part. So if I blast, we're deleting the non-selected. What happens after I polyfill if I blast the very small part? Group type, breakpoints, points. There's like literally, so it is taking these things and turning them into something, but if I blast that, now it's O. It's the very first, it's this guy. Jump up. I wish. Oh, it does. So it gives you all the points of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Class 2. That's interesting. It's in group very small. Can I remove there? It's in both the second class and that. I'm sorry, guys. I know this is boring. Hopefully we can get somewhere with this soon. But these are the little things that are tying me up. Was just not knowing how to handle this particular situation. Very small group is not a valid group. But apparently group O is. Come on. Let me select you. Group O. But it's not exposing this group. It's okay. I appreciate it, Ria. I just wish I had something cool for y'all to play right now. I want to kind of get back to the mechanical aspects of the game. And it's just like that. We haven't progressed much, and it's already 1:11. So I think we're going to, if we can't get something done by this weekend, regardless of what we get done, I think after Friday, I'm going to start working on like some world environment stuff using this shell that we're creating, and I'll just have to plug it manually until I can figure out how to do it through Houdini. But it looks like my work's being cut out for me. So in here we blast. I don't know why we blast that. We fuse it, face it, primitives. Works great. But the small issues, like we don't have this as a group, which makes this like a variable that's unforeseen. And how do you get that? Right? How do you get this bad boy every time it appears? Maybe I extract edges, or I get curve from edges. Let's see what he does. He uses the poly extrude. He dissolves flat edges.
Or no separate.
Then he poly extrudes, which we don't have to worry about doing, but I'm trying to figure out. Dissolve flat edges. Interesting. Let's put it over here after the polyfill. But yeah, even then, it's like we get the result here. It just max edge angle, remove inline points, 0, preserve attribute boundary. We get the UV or the class or the name. What does it looks like name does something. We use UV, but if we go name, kind of does this. Maybe there's something he does in the video to particularly get rid of the stuff.
Start here from the first output from the split again, and this is then. So I'm gonna move this up.
He splits it first of all.
That could be interesting, so we can visualize more what's going on. Or another way is we could use the color node, and in the color node itself we have an option for random from attribute.
Hey Phantom, are you finally back? How's it going, man?
Fill in here our random name, and now we have visualized what's going
We haven't moved much forward. I know it's a little disappointing, but
that can be useful.
there's
So
nothing much I can do until there's something I can do.
now with this information here, this is then very useful. Like we can filter out where empty spaces are, we can filter out where connections are, we can filter out where the corners are of the room, and so on. So this is
So he doesn't use the silhouette in this one.
now from here I also want to do a where, and this is then so it's very visual.
Thicken. So he copies the point, the grid, he blasts, he's extracting, and then he deletes the small parts. He thicken, and then he groups it, and he attribute wrangles it. But what does he do in the attribute wrangle? Let's go back in time. I'm looking and taking notes here, learning how to make an OS and preparing for sleep because it's night here and tomorrow I have school. Meh, school.
Click on it.
I hate no, I love school. School is fun. I just enjoyed learning every day. The only class I really disliked is probably biology because it's all micro details. It's like you have a cell, and then inside the cell you have other little tiny parts of the cell, and inside those parts of the cells are more tiny parts of the cells, and they're like, we want you to learn all these things. And I was just like, all these things? There's a lot of things. Why can't a cell just be a cell? Gotta learn the interiors and all that. I'm gonna use the restroom one more time. I'm sorry, guys. I know you need to figure out what's wrong so future levels can be made, but while you're doing that, you can export what you have in Blender if there are mesh issues and use Blender to finish the mock-up level. That's the essential plan here, but I'm going to use this week to kind of learn how to do this, and then after this week, I'm going to start working on a mock-up level. And then on my off days, I'm going to be working on this aspect. But I think it's important that I show people what I'm trying to do. So, and it's more important than having a functional procedural generated thing.
Here, so copy parameter and paste the reference over here. So paste relative reference. Now do this as
But
well.
I'm trying to at least hit 1,000 subscribers before I start even thinking about a Kickstarter.
This over here.
Let's see what he does.
Which means using this order.
He uses that. Yeah.
Wrap that up in a frame as well.
Isn't that crazy? What does he do here?
Add name group is now 0.
But he doesn't have this issue, which is the frustrating part of it all.
And then we use the bounding region again. Set this to bounding object, so it uses the input. And now all these points that are selected are my main playable area. Now,
So that's how he selects. He uses that to select these instead of creating individual faces where he's able to do those particular things. So he uses the silhouette to get the color, which is something that we're probably going to have to do. It's probably going to be what we have to do. Because we're having a lot of issues with how we're trying to handle the silhouette currently. So he uses a bounding box. Right. On the other hand, where I was trying to, I think that's better than grabbing all these and blasting them and copying to a grid, doing it twice, creating these primitives over and over again. With this, you're able to, inverse things, I believe. Even though it's slow, sometimes it's nice to see all the steps of the process, the troubleshooting as well, since I'm sure everyone goes through that. Yeah, it's accustomed to game development. I mean, in everything, honestly. But it's nice to have someone who has that perspective, because for me, I feel like I gotta be like producing all the time, because while I'm more concerned with the game development aspect of it than I am like actually I'm not going to say that, because this is all part of the marketing as well for the game, like growing awareness for it. So it's all very important, but I still want to make this as interesting as possible, which I feel kind of gets lost in translation when I get stuck in these moments, because instead of focusing on the entirety of this, it's like a focus on this one aspect. But regardless, you are correct. It's probably better that it's going this way. So for him in particular, when he's coming down to do all this stuff, he uses a grid. He blasts the grid, or blasts the part of the grid. He gets the silhouette from that, and then he uses that to select the groups within here. For me in particular, I want to do that, but with the small groups, and then I can change the name of those groups. And honestly, Ria, thank you so much. You're such a very nice, supportive person. It really is nice having you here. It really does help. Because if not, I'd be like, you know. But yeah, let's see. So far we have this attribute which we can peel off here. We have our copy to points, which are these. We're not really concerned about the borders that we're adding here, right? But what we can do is kind of do what he did. Copy to points, extract the silhouette, right? Delete the small parts. Delete the small parts. Chunkify it. And since it's just you working on it for now, it makes sense it would be a bit slower. You have things you specialize in and are learning all the other parts. Yeah. I like to feel like I don't know, it's going to always be a constant learning like a constant learning process, but that's fine, you know. Like the minute I stop learning is the minute it'll probably get boring. Definitely really good experience, true. And I'm just happy that I'm using my degree. That's the biggest part. You know, I worked so hard for it. And you know, extract the largest pieces or invert result, I guess. So we want the smallest parts. So are you working on anything in Blender right now, Ria? What's going on with you? How's your day been going? Let's delete the small parts. Then I guess what we extrude. Poly extrude. How does he do the extrusion? Distance. We can either do low or high. I think it's important that we also use the transform tool to raise this all up. Right? Ooh, that don't look pretty. That didn't look pretty at all. Let's translate this up 1. And then we can extrude down -2. And then here, what does he do? He does an attribute wrangle, which I don't know why. Or he waits to do that. But he does a group 2. And he uses this as a bounding box to so let's do that. Group small parts. And I think this is a way more procedural way to handle it because it ensures that no matter what the selection is, you'll be getting based on the area, you'll be getting different results. Sorry, I had to shimmy a little bit. Group name. Small part. Honestly, I could add it here. Drag this down a little bit. Bring this up. And then, shoot, what is this? Group create bounding object. So we have the bounding object. I want to merge groups. Group combine. I'm guessing it's what it's called. Combine. group name. It's going to be points because we're going to want the points in this. We also want to keep by bounding region, bounding box, bounding object, right? And then we grab the object. The only issue is that it's not grabbing all the freaking points in here. It's been a really good day so far. I have a lot more energy that I have for several days. Just housework so far, though. That's sick. I'm happy to hear you're getting all that energy you need. I mean, I've been trying to eat a little bit more because I feel like my energy has kind of died down a little bit. But you are not wrong. It's nice to have that energy. Sorry, you're not wrong. I don't know why I said that, but that's good to hear you got a lot of energy. Bounding volume, convex hole, object. And it's like, why is this object not fully selecting all? Do I need to scale it up a bit? Points, edges, vertices, points. Point normal. No, we want primitive edges, connected individual elements, no connected. Maybe I scale it up a little bit, 1.2. Maybe if I scale it up. That's interesting. Why is it? Oh, it's because it's scaling from the center of that when I'm not transform group. And I can only use reverse, which doesn't have a group. Group delete small parts. Group. I guess I should extract, delete small parts, extract large pieces. Oh, group instead of delete. Calculate piece attribute. This is ridiculous. Extract parameter. The day has been going by so fast. I know, it's almost 2 o'clock. It's almost time to close up shop. So if you haven't already, make sure to click that sub button, guys. Appreciate it. We're almost, well, we're a little over halfway to 200. If we get 200, man, that'd be sweet. We have a goal of 1,000 subs by the end of the year. And I'm hoping we can make that. But if not, it's fine. But we stream every day, 10 a.m. PST to about 2 p.m. PST here. We try to drop a short at least once a week. And we most definitely post a devlog, a weekly devlog. Maybe at some point we might do, I don't know. We might do something like a monthly devlog to kind of culminate things. We'll have the monthly devlog so people who've came into it recently can watch the month instead of the weekly, or they can watch the weekly and then, yeah, do a monthly overview. Why is this not working as I was hoping it would work? Yeah, it's not working. It's not working. But yeah, there's a lot of content on this channel, guys, weekly content. So please make sure to click that like button and the subscription button. For those of you out there who have subscribed, you're lurking, private profile and all that stuff, I do appreciate you. And now this isn't working. What is going on? The things are not working. Delete small parts. We go here, we invert the selection. If I do parameter, we go up to here. And if we group instead of delete, it does the whole thing, which is interesting. But regardless, we could probably group this after creating it, right? Group. It's going to be so difficult to do. Just it's less nodes, right? Group, small parts, and we'll do points. Or we can do primitives. I don't know. Then we come into here in the transform, and then we can transform small parts. I was hoping, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Because what we're trying to do right now is essentially use this to select groups in here, right? For some strange reason, this isn't working as intended. Now it's not selecting anything. It looks like it has to do with, I don't know. Okay, so it should work, right? Bounding object, but it's not. Oh, it's because the transform, I guess, needs to be higher. Transform, I apologize. I don't know why I ran into that mistake. I'm just getting kind of tired at this point. I need to eat again. Let's go up by what? 1. 1. Ooh, that looks like it went. But yeah, it's not grabbing. Jesus. There's got to be like a concentrate type of thing. But yeah, it's not you know, it's the camera. I messed the camera up. Keep pivot on tumble rotate. Is that it? No, it's not. Set pivot on camera. There's like some button for it. Was it H? Not really. I guess it is. It resets the camera. Nope, never mind. Why are you acting weird now, camera? Allow zoom about view center, dolly along projected view direction. It should be the pivot one, right, chat? If anyone knows, please let me know. Keep pivot. But yeah, it's not selecting these ones in the center, which is frustrating because it's like, thought that was the whole point of this, was to use that to grab those, and now it just doesn't want to work for me. Works for that guy though. Regardless, yeah, why is it not working? I felt like if I extruded this on the side or something like that. Maybe if I had more create more distance. You have 3, I don't know. Primitive properties. When we do this and then select this and do transform, I think this should scale it. Yeah. It scales it kind of weird. Let's do it by the position instead of the normal. P. And I think that should not do anything at all besides make it worse. 1.5. I don't know. I'm desperate here. Why is it not selecting it? I mean, it selects it now, which is interesting. Like if you go up, it selects it. If I go up like 2, about 1.5. Is that the happy medium? That is the happy medium. That's so weird. Why does it do that? It should just select everything that's kind of, you know, in there. I mean, it does now, but it kind of should just do it automatically if it's inside of the bounding box. Maybe it's because I'm not outputting the front and back and it's not fully encased. Let's try that and then press 0 here. That's why it needs to be fully encased. Okay, now we know. But with that being said, I could probably lower the extrusion a little bit. Just a little bit. 1.5. And then maybe translate this a little less, like a 0.5. And then I guess we could come back to 1 realistically. And then we select all of these. And then in here, I'm trying to remember if I remember how to do this correctly. Sorry, guys, we're still learning Houdini. But yeah, these faces, we want to change the name or the color. I'm believing the name to O, names to change. I think we already named these. WFC initialize, Wang tiles decoder. Cuss attribute. How did I name these in the first place? How did I set the names? I could have sworn I did it with a color. I guess these are all named 0 to begin with. And because it's not a part of this, it's automatically, if it's not these, it's going to be 0. Or if it's not white, it's going to be 0. Right. So let's go to the geometry spread and check these out. Yeah, that's either 1, 1 or 0, 0. So these are all set to a color, and the names are all changed to either 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1. And I believe I do that in here. Do I set the names to 1, 1, 0, 0? Base group. Well, regardless. Oh yeah, maybe I set an attribute. Because we come in here, we create these. These are already all 0, 0, 0. These are already 0, 0. So what I do here, or they're 1, 1 Hold up. Let's view this again, chat. If I were to select, let's say, let's grab this again. Look at this. Go in the geometry. Can we select one of these particular points? Probably if we grab the point, probably have to go back. I could have sworn I clicked the point. No. Points. Okay, that just changes the geometry level. 253. Or if we put 385. I mean, we could have just looked at the number, I guess. Is that 330? That's 335. But now that we've selected it, we get it highlighted, and it's colored 000 and has the name 000. So, we want to look at this geometry now that we have in here, because we're selecting these group small parts. That's what we're naming these, I guess. And if we come in here, small parts, maybe. There's got to be a way to group small parts. 1, 1. It's these guys. 333, 334, 335, 349, 350, 351. Group small parts. So in group small parts, we want to change the name of these to 0, I believe. So these already have a name, I guess, as we can see here. But we don't, like if I were to click here and go at name, we don't get anything. So I'm under the assumption that there's no name. It's not until, oh, actually there is a name. That's interesting. 0, 0, 0. So we have to change attribute change or adjusts. I mean, I could do an attribute wrangler and then say if name equals 0, then the name is going to equal, or does not equal 0, then set the name to 0. Let's try that. Yeah, let's try that. And then in here, we'll say if, how do you get a hold of an attribute? I guess at name, or is it name? At name does not equal 0. Then I guess we set the name to 0. Doesn't work. Int equals string does not equal int. I guess it's because I have to close these off. I don't think there's a way to check like that. But at least we know the name exists. If s at name equals 0, I guess he's just setting it there to 0. So I don't even need to check it. So string at name equals 0. And then that works fine. And if we go into the geometry spreadsheet and click these guys, their name is now 0. So we can, I think, transfer attribute, not reorientate. We'll copy this bad boy. Boom. 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 Names to change is not a valid group. I know. So we're going to have to set source group to small parts. Get rid of names to change. Points name. Yada, yada. Now let's see in geometry if these particular points, was it 335? I believe it was, is now set to 0. Although that doesn't seem to be the particular one I'm selecting, but the name is 0 now. So when we come into here, we can really check this if we come to copy to points. And now, ladies and gentlemen, that small part has been filled. Boom! And it only took us 4 hours. What, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2? Yeah, it only took us, what, 3 hours and 50 minutes to figure that out. Okay, guys, so like when you use silhouettes, make sure to not like try to do it the way I did it, because it's just procedurally not sound. It makes things difficult in the long run in the sense of deleting overlapping faces. On top of this, if the shape were to change, I feel like given the shape, it might not work. But in this case, no matter what the shape, you're going to be selecting those vertices that are already a part of your group. So with that being said, if you're like me and you like to experiment, this feels like it's really, what is this tutorial? It's the WFC dungeon generator. It's in part 2. Basically, how it's using WFC. The way to go is really the way he goes. Haha, at least you got it. Yeah, at least I got it. It only took me... That's what I get for experimenting. Seeing if I can find another way to do it. Now, the next part, chat, is going to be doing something like, let's say I were to... Like a group... We still see that... Sorry, let's do primitives. And let's get rid of the dot numbers. The next part is, I guess, one we really want to kind of look through each one of these to check the tiles to make sure they're correct. Why is it, it looks like it's still creating geometry there, is it? That's interesting. But it's not there. It's like shadowed. I don't know if I'm hallucinating, but we might have to fix that later down the road if that becomes a problem. Oh, you know what it is? It's the HDA. And I need to fix this camera. How do you fix a camera? What is this? The 2D pan and zoom. Keep pivot. Houston. Jesus. Houdini, not Houston. You accidentally pressed something. Make a new scene view. Check the preference. There's a few tumbling options. Let you choose different start, restart. Yeah. If you press H, apparently it goes back to normal. Mine's not going back to normal. Keep pivot. Yeah. H. There we go. And it is now fixed. Sweet. But yeah, guys, I'm going to jump off. It's 1:53. We get off at 2 p.m. typically, but since I figured out how to get this, I'm going to leave it at that. But yeah, guys, other than that, y'all have a great day. If you haven't already, please make sure to click the like and subscribe button. If you're just joining in right now, the good news is that you can rewatch this from the beginning if you want, and you can watch me struggle. Because I know that might be entertaining for some. It's definitely entertaining for me. But yeah, if you haven't already, click the like and subscribe button. It all helps. I appreciate the support. And until next time, I'll catch you later. God bless, and Jesus loves you. Peace out, Chase. Peace out, Rhea. And bye to everyone else that's lurking and watching the channel. Y'all have a very blessed day. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow.